Choking under a toxic family, a shut-in suddenly awakens inside her favorite royal sim. She expected paradise, but realized she is the hated villainess everyone wants dead. Maidservants flee from her sight, and her cold fiancé cannot wait to ditch their contract. The Emperor wishes she stayed buried, yet she is a pro who has cleared this route 10 times. Witness her flip this disaster into a victory. Plus, Aiden, her ultimate digital crush, finally arrives. So Yeon vibrates with hype, her eyes sparking with pure adrenaline. A true pro, she knows every secret path. This app was a total viral hit back at school. Please Be the Princess owned her soul from day one. The black-haired hero risks it all for the crown. It is cliché but weirdly addictive. Her bestie asks why she is still grinding this retro title, but So Yeon's obsession never fades. She geeks out hard, until her friend admits she prefers mindless button mashers. Math is a nightmare, but this? Easy. One perfect strategy, and the throne is hers. Her online walkthroughs went viral, yet no cheat code could fix her crumbling reality at home. Walking in drained, she whispers a hello. Her stepdad snaps, demanding more respect. Swallowing her rage, she tries again, only to be barked at to prep dinner. Pure resentment. Jin Woo, that fake dad she despises. Her mom dragged him home years ago, forcing the title. Soon, cancer took her mom. And this excuse for a father? He gambled with guests during the funeral. After dinner, he screams about her cooking skills. That glowing rice cooker is the only heat in this cold house, but in-game. Walking the gardens with her fiancé spikes their chemistry, netting her 5,000 gold coins. Is the game finally pitying her? Her drunk stepdad wastes every cent on cheap liquor. She flips merch to friends just to survive. Then, a server maintenance alert crashes her vibe. Panic hits. 2 hours of real life. She grips her hair in pure desperation. Her stepdad's roar shatters the quiet, demanding she scrub dishes. So Yeon finally snaps. She demands a break after cooking, but he explodes, screaming she has not earned a second's rest. Fists slam against her door, yet the wood holds firm. The only perk of this dump? This heavy-duty door. She will end up at the sink anyway. Why even fight? Holding back tears, she refuses to break. Again, she wonders if he would be human if he just stayed sober. But the bottle wins. She drifts off, then jolts awake, scrambling for her phone. Crap! It is 11. Daily quests are not finished, and her stomach is screaming for food. Changing quickly, she spots her stepdad passed out and nabs some cash from his wallet. The neon store feels like a sanctuary. Simple. By the time she is paid, it is midnight. Time vanished. She needs to run, but her eyes are locked on the screen. Grinding her daily login, she sprints across the street, ignoring the red signal, then blinding white. Tires scream as she goes airborne. Her last sight? Lucas's pixelated wedding on her cracked screen. Petals fall in the perfect ending she has seen a million times. Now, it is her final goodbye. She lets go. But when her eyes flutter open, a voice gasps, "Princess!" That title hits like a truck. Standing there is Ella, the loyalist NPC from the game. So Yeon is shook. Ella screams for help, horrified that the princess is breathing. Wait, still alive? She pinches her arm, and the sharp sting confirms this is not a dream. Reality sets in. 1 minute she is roadkill, the next she is waking up in a palace. This is her new life. Her heart races. Rebirth was a meme, not a plan. She is literally inside her favorite sim as the infamous Princess Cecilia de Evenhart. Ella stares, trembling. The medic swore her heart had flatlined. They were already in black. Now the staff is whispering, was it really poison? It was a simple sedative, but her face was hauntingly pale. Someone whispers they should let the doctor unmask the truth. A quiet sigh ripples through the room. Freedom from that dark abyss was finally within reach. So-yeon remains in utter disbelief. Hesitantly, she begs Ella to slap her. Ella collapses into tears, wailing about what imaginary crime she's being framed for now. Confusion clouds So-yeon's mind as she realizes they're talking about her. Ella sobs, claiming Cecilia has always been a relentless bully. Just yesterday, she'd publicly accused Ella of poisoning her. Now she's demanding to be hit? It's terrifying. So-yeon stands frozen in shock. Bullying and poison? She can't believe the kind princess from the game was actually a villain. Suddenly, a figure storms into the room. Worry etches his features as he frantically searches for Cecilia. It's Aiden West, the dazzling second male lead. He's Cecilia's eternal protector. Seeing her favorite character in the flesh makes So-yeon's face flush bright red. He pulls her into a crushing embrace, like a man finding a lost treasure. So-yeon feels the air leave her lungs. Her heart pounds like a jackhammer. Pulling back, Aiden regains his composure and offers an awkward apology for his sudden outburst. He harshly rebukes the staff for spreading death rumors while she's clearly breathing. Seeing her so ghostly, he'd feared she'd never wake. The reality finally sinks in. Cecilia is truly gone. Cecilia de Evenhart perished from a lethal dose of poison. Meanwhile, Lee So-yeon died in a brutal car wreck. Stripped of technology, she's trapped in a world without any answers. Thinking of her old life, Aiden's concerned voice snaps her back. Panic surges through her. What's the move? She has to play the game's Cecilia. Mimicking the script, she smiles softly, calling him brother. Aiden looks absolutely horrified. He immediately barks orders for a physician. The servants scramble into action. Relief finally washes over his face. He's thankful her death wasn't officially announced. He urges her to rest and suggests she goes easy on those 3 individuals. So-yeon bows her head, stunned by Aiden's physical presence and the opulence of the room. She scans her new surroundings. This isn't the personal hell she escaped. She's officially Cecilia de Evenhart. But which chapter of the game is this? She's flying blind. Beyond Aiden and those 3, there's one final, massive hurdle she has to clear. Her fiancé is the real nightmare. A servant tentatively suggests she lie down. She agrees quickly, nearly tripping over her words. Having elders bow to her feels bizarre and wrong. In the game world, everything seemed so perfectly natural. However, the Cecilia in her memories doesn't match the one everyone fears. The angelic princess from the screen. Was she not supposed to be beautiful? Why is everyone avoiding her eyes? So-yeon forces herself to speak up. The moment she speaks, terror grips the servants. They act as if they're staring down a lethal predator. Desperate, she pivots to a tone opposite of the kind princess. She coldly demands they bring her tea. As silence descends, she wonders if she messed up. She opens her mouth to fix the mistake, but the panicked servants bolt to prepare it immediately. So-yeon feels incredibly awkward. Is this how it goes? The staff are in shock that she didn't torment them. No cockroaches in the tea, and no scalding liquid to the face. They fear she's planning something even more sadistic later, but So-yeon is just genuinely enjoying the high-quality tea. Suddenly, a sharp knock echoes. Aiden enters, followed by a second figure. Catching sight of that face, a chill runs down So-yeon's spine. She recognizes him instantly. The game's final boss, Emperor Maximilian. To win, she'd fought him 1,000 times. The Emperor mocks her miraculous recovery with a cold, indifferent sneer. So-yeon sees through his mask. There's zero warmth here. In the game, his obsession with power was absolute. He won the world's favor, but to her, he's pure evil. She mentally rehearses her role in the plot. Bowing deeply, she addresses him. As you can see, I am quite healthy, Your Majesty. Instant, suffocating silence follows. They stare at her as if she's grown a second head. Panic flares. Did she fail again? The Emperor speaks. She responds with a tremor in her voice. He scoffs, mocking how nearly dying actually gave her some manners. Her heart hammers against her ribs, but he simply tells her to keep it up. He claims she finally learned respect. Only after swallowing poison. He even threatens to buy more, totally ignoring that his daughter almost died. His booming, heartless laughter fills the room. So-yeon feels a cold shiver. Her own father is a monster. To make such a cruel joke now is insane. Aiden interjects, insisting the princess's survival is a blessing. The Emperor snaps back, asking when he ever denied it. Aiden grits his teeth and presses forward. He admits the princess's past behavior was chaotic, but the Emperor's words are crossing a line. Maximilian just scoffs dismissively. He quips about saving money on a funeral before laughing his way out. So-yeon seethes what an absolute jerk. Aiden steps in, shielding her with gentle words. He dismisses the Emperor's coldness, praising her impeccable conduct instead. A simple greeting left everyone floored. So-yeon's jaw drops. Just how toxic was the original Cecilia? Aiden is baffled by her sudden mastery of royal etiquette. So-yeon stays silent, her mind racing with confusion. The angelic princess from the game art feels like a lie, even though her memories suggest a sweet childhood. Chills run down her spine as the truth clicks. The servants aren't just serving, they're watching her like hawks. Their eyes are clouded with exhaustion, while Aiden stares in horror, convinced her mind is shattered. Her politeness is triggering pure terror. A sickening realization begins to take root in So-yeon's heart. Was Cecilia actually a legendary villainess? So-yeon spirals into despair. This is nothing like the heroine she played. Aiden's voice fades into the background as she drowns in grief. Her dream of a kind protagonist, shattered. Virtue was supposed to be her ticket to the crown. That was the whole appeal of this character. She fell for the radiant, golden-haired princess on the cover, a perfect blend of brilliance, beauty, and iron-willed kindness. The game ended with a wise empress, but reality is a nightmare. Cecilia was a total monster. Aiden checks on her, but So-yeon is focused. She refuses to let Cecilia's dark past define her future. Facing the staff, she makes a vow. The reborn Cecilia promises to treat them with nothing but respect. The servants tremble, suspecting a trap. They fear this kindness is just a prelude to a mass execution. To survive this life, So-yeon must solve the mystery of how the original Cecilia actually died. Answers are scarce, but one word keeps surfacing: poison. A lethal, slow-acting toxin took her down. The how is a puzzle. Cecilia used taste testers for everything, so how did the poison bypass her defenses? Whispers of suicide in the bedroom circulate, but Soyeon isn't buying it even if the original princess was a villain. Since she doesn't know the real Cecilia, anything's possible. It's time to start looking at potential murderers. First suspect, the Emperor. Getting rid of Cecilia would clear a massive hurdle on his path. That word obstacle triggers a memory. There's someone else hungry for the crown who always picked fights. Her own brother. As she plots his downfall, a sudden voice cuts through the silence behind her. Shivers race through her as she turns to face Lucas, her stunning fiancé and the most powerful man in the room. As the Empire's top mage, Lucas drops a bombshell. I heard you're amnesiac. Did you forget our contract too? Total system error. Soyeon has zero intel on a contract. She frantically searches her game knowledge. In the game, it was a classic political marriage that blossomed into a deep, agonizingly beautiful romance. Is that the contract? Lucas sighs at her blank stare and coldly reminds her of their deal. He's only in it until she wears the crown. No more, no less. Being a princess is exhausting. This is way harder than any mobile game. No simple tapping here. Even her school days were a breeze compared to this. Real life is a total grind. Morning strolls, breakfast, then endless sword theory and grueling physical training. The schedule is relentless. She's barely finished lunch when she's dragged off to the next event, afternoon tea. Another memory gap. Ella explains this bi-weekly ritual is non-negotiable. In the game mechanics, tea time is a health buff. Skipping it means losing items, hitting penalties, and missing critical story flags. Soyeon makes a mental note, do not skip tea. Thankfully, there's one small silver lining. The original Cecilia was a master of masks, though her servants paid the price for her private rage. Lucas's cold business-only attitude stings. Her dreams of a storybook romance are fading fast. The honeymoon's canceled, but she's not quitting. She's a pro gamer who conquered this world once. She'll do it again. Today's setting is the Aurora's Twilight Garden, a place as breathtaking as its name suggests. Soyeon fishes for info on her inner circle. A baffled Ella names Lady Isabella Montfort as her bestie. They were supposedly inseparable, with Cecilia frequently visiting the Montfort estate to spread her kindness. Are they real friends or just political allies? In the dressing room, a maid suggests a vibrant pink gown. It's cute, but Soyeon wants something that fits the garden's ethereal vibe perfectly. Ella offers a forest green alternative, her heart racing as she observes the princess's eerie, quiet demeanor. A hairpin clatters to the floor. Soyeon secures it in her hair, casually asking, "Does this suit me?" A deathly hush falls as the surrounding maids turn ghost white with fear. Ella interjects, praising the accessory. Soyeon feels the weight of awkward tension. She seeks a second opinion, but Ella explains the grim fate of servants. Royal staff are silenced to protect the Empire's darkest and most dangerous secrets. Their tongues were severed. King Maximilian ruthlessly upholds this brutal ancestral law. Reality shatters for Soyeon. Human rights are non-existent. Were Ella and Felix spared? They live on a knife's edge, knowing they could be silenced instantly. Yet, secrets leak. Her mother escaped despite her stepfather's hushed, sleepy whispers. Such brutality is pointless. So, Yeon vows to dismantle this twisted, archaic system. She'll topple Maximilian and reign as a benevolent, compassionate sovereign. Her thoughts are interrupted. Tea time beckons. She enters the garden. A familiar presence approaches. Isabella greets her with a radiant, long-awaited smile. Internal panic surges, so Yeon masks her fear with a practiced response. The conversation shifts to fabrics. The ladies marvel at the palace's shimmering silks. So Yeon navigates the social minefield, desperately scanning for cues to fit in. She plays along, yet Isabella's true intentions remain shrouded in a thick fog. Suddenly, Isabella requests a private word. Terror strikes, so Yeon's heart instantly. Separated from Ella, she's led away. One slip-up and the charade crumbles. Isabella's expression turns grave. Will she discuss forbidden magic or royal fabrics? Isabella turns, eyes gleaming. I've seen your true face, Cecilia. Suffocating tension rises. So Yeon freezes. Then, Isabella playfully pouts, shifting the mood in a heartbeat. You little villain, delivering gifts late! She giggles, teasing her friend. Recovering from shock, So Yeon grumbles that the joke wasn't funny. Isabella scoffs. They've played these games since 18, even as royal adults. She leans in, confessing her loneliness. So Yeon pivots, blaming her busy schedule. Isabella is a true ally. The princess is easily forgiven with a hug. Watching closely, So Yeon realizes Isabella treats her staff with genuine kindness. A trembling lady approaches. With a bow, she offers a precious, exotic tea. Diana presents her foreign treasure. So Yeon's curiosity peaks as the steam rises. One sip reveals the truth, it's just mint. She masks her disappointment perfectly. She offers graceful praise, leaving Diana beaming. The others tease her devotion. Diana blushes furiously, denying her loyalty, but the crowd insists she's a fan. So Yeon is stunned. A fan? They gossip about Prince Victor's rude followers. Meanwhile, the princess attracts sweet girls. Last month, flowers flooded the gates. The gates were blocked. Victor is equally adored, buried under flower mountains. So Yeon analyzes her brother, Victor. He's a charming idol, but it's calculated. His public image is a facade. Only she knows his monstrous side. He treats people like pawns. So Yeon vows never to be like him. She touches Diana's hand, apologizing for her neglect. The girl is moved. A promise of a gift ignites, so Yeon's resolve. Sincerity will win. To win the crown, she must study. Next stop, the Imperial Library. Her lessons have been extended. Ella leads her toward the silent study. At the mention of books, So Yeon's eyes sparkle. She dismisses her attendance. Inside, she gasps. The legendary library looms before her in breathtaking scale. Awestruck, she remembers the nights spent grinding for exams in her past life. Her BFF joked that if she hit the books this hard, in real life, she'd be Ivy League bound. Meanwhile, Victor sneers, stunned that Cecilia is still kicking despite the lethal dose he served. That venom should have wrecked her body, Victor mutters, his gaze turning icy. This sister is a straight-up freak. His lackey chirps that the poisoning was successfully covered up. But Victor isn't buying it. He demands to know if anyone has connected the dots back to him. The report is clear. Zero gossip, zero suspicion. Victor lets out a chilling smirk before dismissing his man. He praises the man's hard work, making the poor guy freeze in terror before he scrambles out. Left alone, Victor's face falls into a dark scowl. That hit was amateur hour, downright pathetic. If he'd handled the hit himself, it would have been flawless. Cecilia won't get a second chance to breathe. Gritting his teeth in pure malice, he vows to erase her existence. Poison was a rookie mistake. It's messy and leaves a trail. Since the toxins failed, it's time to play the long game. He remembers her taunt about a political marriage, a move that would double her noble support. She's hungry for power, plotting to turn everyone into her pawns. That's a massive threat to Victor. Victor hardens his heart. To win, he must be the perfect, ruthless prince. Kindness is for the weak. In this world, nice guys finish dead. He knows even his own blood would gladly slit his throat. This palace is a literal war zone. He'll pay any blood price to stay at the top. The throne will be mine, by any means necessary. Meanwhile, Ella hands over a complex palace blueprint. Ella warns it's a total maze, but So-yeon just grins. She's already got the layout memorized overnight. Her mission is to crack the secret pact between Lucas and Cecilia. This Empress Act is temporary. Lucas's words echo in her head. To secure her spot, she needs way more allies on her side. But is Lucas a ride or die, or a snake? Before dealing with him, she needs a heavy hitter. Enter Aiden West, the loyal guard dog who's practically her shadow 24/7. His loyalty stat from the game is still active. Aiden looks shook when he sees Cecilia approaching. He awkwardly asks why she's suddenly crashing his training session. So-yeon feels a sudden wave of shyness. She asks him to drop the sword so they can talk, but calling him brother makes things weird. Aiden literally shivers. So-yeon's like, am I really that terrifying? He suggests they find a place to sit. So-yeon plops down so fast it catches him off guard. She's not playing around. She checks for eavesdroppers. Aiden assures her his barrier will trigger an alarm if anyone sneaks up. Aiden notes she's acting like a total amnesiac. So-yeon quickly lies, saying she just forgot the boring bits. When pressed, she rambles about having a dad, a brother, and some random fiancé. She mentions tea parties before pivoting. Look, I'm not here to play games, she tells him. She cuts the fluff and asks him straight up, will you have my back no matter what? Without a second's hesitation, Aiden swears his life, 3 years of service, and his loyalty hasn't blinked. Seizing the moment, she drops the bombshell. She needs him to help her seize the Empress's crown. She solemnly swears she'll be the most benevolent ruler ever. Aiden's jaw drops. Seeing his shock, she panics. I'm dead serious. My villain era is officially over. Aiden goes quiet. So-yeon pouts, wondering if her reputation is really that trashed. He finally speaks up. For 5 years, you've promised to be nice and change your ways, he reminds her. So-yeon nervously asks for the aftermath. Aiden recalls her last good girl phase lasted exactly 2 weeks. Then she went back to putting lizards in tea and cutting off a stylist's fingers over hair. And don't forget the maid who messed up her brows. So-yeon's skin crawls. Okay, I get it. Aiden notes he tried to keep her in check, but she was consistently a total nightmare. She practically begs him to believe her this time. This isn't an act. She's genuinely desperate. No more reptiles in tea, no more maiming the staff. From now on, she's all about sincerity. She pleads for trust. Aiden's heart starts racing. He's in. He just has no clue how to help. Overwhelmed with relief, So-yeon showers him with gratitude, swearing she'll never forget his soul-saving kindness. She pleads for his eternal loyalty. Aiden's heart thumps wildly against his ribs as he stammers a shy yes. With Aiden secured, she pivots to her husband-to-be, Lucas, a man more at home with test tubes than barbells. Lucas dryly notes that a princess in a dusty lab is a rare sight. She forces a stiff laugh. "It's never too late to love science," she chirps, while internally screaming that their chemistry is worse than the game. She struggles to find common ground, shocked to realize his silver locks are actually longer than her own hair. Lucas barely grunts in response. The silence between them grows thick enough to suffocate a dragon. Desperate, she asks about his length. Lucas flatly admits he hasn't touched a pair of shears since his birth. A barber once tried to assassinate him, so he banned haircuts forever. He waves her away, but she's low-key geeking out. She curses the developers for hiding this legendary piece of lore. How was this backstory not in the official guide? She'd give anything to record this and replay it 30 times tonight. Suddenly, a glass vial shatters in Lucas's grip. A monstrous creature erupts from the liquid, so Yeon's blood turns to ice. "What is that thing?" she shrieks. The beast's terrifying aura short-circuits her brain. Lucas bellows, "Get back! Hide in the corner, now!" Her survival instincts scream run, but her legs feel like they're buried in 2 tons of heavy lead. Before she's lunch, Lucas snaps his fingers. Arcane magic surges forward, binding the creature in a split second. He lunges forward, pulling her into a protective embrace. "Just a shadowing beast," he whispers. "It's mostly harmless." It was just startled by the noise. He temporarily locks it down, his eyes filling with deep, genuine guilt. He curses his own carelessness for leaving the cage unlocked, so Yeon is still visibly trembling in his arms. Her face flushes crimson as she stammers that she's fine. Lucas's gaze softens. He's truly relieved she's unharmed. The moment shatters as he pulls away, his voice turning icy. "So, why did you really come here?" Reality hits her like a truck. Swallowing her fear, she declares she needs her fiancé's absolute, unwavering support. The words feel clumsy the moment they leave her lips. God, I sound like such a loser, she thinks. His cold silence makes her sweat. Even for a frosty duke, this treatment of Princess Cecilia is straight up brutal. "We have a contract," she blurts. "Working together won't break it. Help me, and I'll ensure you profit immensely." Lucas stares at her for a long beat before finally, begrudgingly, giving her a slow nod of agreement. Cecilia refuses to be the palace rabbit, the weak prey that only knows how to flee when the wolves circle. "I'm no coward," she vows. Both she and the original Cecilia are humans, not some helpless, hunted animals. "If the princess commands it, I must obey," he says formally. So Yeon's inner fangirl is absolutely winning right now. With his mastery of alchemy and their combined status, he's the ultimate power-up. This plan is officially perfect. Leaving the lab, she pumps herself up. Step 1, woo Lucas. Step 2, find the person who poisoned her. She's running herself ragged, juggling palace politics. But finally, she hits pay dirt on the poisoning case. The toxin was shadow, viper, venom, a rare alchemical substance that's harder to find than a needle in a haystack. Where did the killer get it? Meanwhile, summer hits the Empire, signaling the start of the legendary Starlight Festival. It's a 5-day extravaganza where nobles launch glowing lanterns, turning the midnight sky into a sea of stars. Then come the fireworks, each custom designed by the elite. In the game, this design minigame was high stakes. A high score unlocks a steamy alone time scene with Lucas. A low score? You're stuck with Aiden. She shudders at the thought of Aiden's route getting him meant replaying the entire boring chapter from scratch. "Ella, fetch my old sketches," she commands. Her maid scurries off to retrieve the archives immediately. Ella returns buried under a mountain of paper. Turns out, the former Cecilia was a total workaholic designer. Alchemists submit over 30 designs every single year. The rejects have piled up into a massive, dusty library. These patterns set the palace trends, and So-yeon is determined to kill the tacky vibes forever. She needs a pro's opinion. Ella suggests consulting the alchemists. They're the ones who actually build the magic. You can't just launch fire. You need experts for the alchemy and the dress rehearsals before the big debut. The more she plans, the more hype she gets. Her mind is already blooming with neon blossoms of fire. The night sky is her canvas, and she's ready to paint a masterpiece that no one will ever forget. The mansion is buzzing with whispers. The staff is convinced. So-yeon's a whole new person gone is the constant complaining. Usually, the Starlight Festival was a total drag, but now she's glowing with hype. Most shocking, she hasn't deleted anyone. No flying rocks today. Felix even served her literal trash cookies, and she actually devoured them with a smile. Everyone's low-key terrified. How is Felix still breathing? Is she for real, or is this just a massive glitch? Can a villainess really change overnight? Just as they wonder, So-yeon's voice rings out across the courtyard. She's heading out with Aiden. To everyone's shock, she actually apologizes for being 10 minutes late. A polite princess? Aiden says it's no big deal, but she's not having it. Time is precious. She grabs him and bolts. Aiden is reeling. The old her wouldn't care about the clock. Something is definitely off with his master. He asks if they're visiting the legendary forest witch. Soyeon just flashes him a mysterious, bright grin and nods. She claims the witch has elite taste. Aiden, however, is visibly stressed that creepy forest is not his vibe. She laughs it off and tells him to chill outside. They finally reach the heart of the wild woods. This is the domain of Vivian, the immortal witch. Soyeon steps up and knocks. Suddenly, the door flies open. Vivian charges out with a wild scream of joy, but she's not looking at Soyeon. Her eyes are locked on Aiden. This witch is straight up obsessed with him. Every single time they meet, she begs Cecilia to hand him over. Soyeon shuts it down. He's a person, not a toy. Vivian pouts and brings out a tray of fresh cookies. She baked them just for her favorite night. She's confused why Aiden is standing out there like a lost puppy. Soyeon pivots immediately. She's here for business. The Starlight Festival designs need to be absolutely legendary this year. Don't let that child face fool you. She's 3,000 years old. Vivian suddenly leans in, staring deep into Soyeon's soul. It's majorly awkward. But then, Vivian just demands the sketches. Soyeon blinks, totally lost by the sudden mood shift. Vivian vows to create the most insane fireworks display ever seen. She's all in on making Soyeon's vision a reality. Outside, Aiden waits in silence. When Vivian finally reveals the new designs, Soyeon's jaw practically hits the floor. The patterns are ethereal, gorgeous lanterns and exploding stars. Soyeon can't stop gushing about how breathtaking they are. Vivian is stunned. Is this a compliment? Soyeon is usually so cold, but right now, she's fangirling hard. She's mesmerized by the art, already picturing the night sky. Production starts now. Every detail has to be perfect. The designs are fire-blooming floral patterns mixed with the Empire's iconic purple bird. It's going to be iconic. Vivian mentions payment, but Soyeon cuts her off. Aiden is off limits. No deals involve her knight, period. The witch doesn't want gold. She just smirks and vanishes back inside. Soyeon is buzzing with pure anticipation. She wants Cecilia to be the star. Aiden notices her excitement. The final results? Even better than the sketches. It's a masterpiece. She turns to share the moment with Aiden, but he seems miles away, totally lost in thought. She asks if he's okay, and he snaps back to reality instantly. But inside, his mind is a mess. Why is his heart racing like a Formula One car every time she's near? This is brand new territory. She asks about his plans for the big day. Aiden's a total workaholic. He completely forgot the festival even existed. She calls him a big dummy and tells him to live a little, put the sword down and enjoy life. Aiden insists on being her shield, but Soyeon isn't taking no for an answer. The princess has spoken. She orders him to feast and relax. This festival is his time to shine, not just work his life away. It's exactly like the game's illustrations. The vibes are immaculate as the festival finally kicks off in full force. Aiden stays close anyway. To him, watching her fireworks is the ultimate vibe. That's all the rest he needs. That actually makes Soyeon blush. She gives him a confident thumbs up, her heart feeling lighter than ever. She promises the sky lanterns will be a total game changer. Just wait until the sky lights up tonight. Day 1 is finally here. With the Emperor busy, the spotlight falls on Princess Cecilia and Prince Victor. While Soyeon grinds behind the scenes, Victor is out there playing politics and shaking hands like a typical snake. Victor only cares about clout. Soyeon, left with nothing to do, slips into the shadows to listen to the tea. Suddenly, a dark memory from the game flashes back. Failure meant a one-way ticket to a miserable, low-tier marriage. Noble gossip used to destroy her. If she lets them get to her again, her fate is sealed. Aiden sees the shadow on her face. He offers a drink, but she just shakes it off. Stay focused. Her eyes frantically scan the crowd for Victor, but he's a total ghost. Aiden suggests they ditch the area. It's better to bounce before the toxic rumors start flying. Suddenly, the grand banquet is officially ready to kick off. The Emperor takes center stage, announcing 5 days of non-stop festivities for Eldoria. He wishes everyone a wild time. As fireworks and lanterns paint the night sky, Soyeon freezes. Her jaw drops. She's finally spotted Victor. He's actually lounging on the dais right next to the Emperor. Soyeon is absolutely livid. How did he get up there? She immediately grabs Aiden, ready to ghost the party. She can't stop venting about that fraud, stealing all the glory. That creepy smirk of his is the literal worst. But after a few steps, she bumps into Lucas and gasps. Usually rocking all black, today he's in pure white and looks breathtaking. Aiden takes the hint and tactfully dips, leaving the two of them solo. Before she can react, Aiden is gone. Suddenly, the orchestra starts a romantic melody. It hits her like a truck tradition, says the princess must share the first dance with her fiancé. She's low-key spiraling. She hasn't even danced with a guy in high school. This cringe background music isn't helping. She wants to vanish on the spot. Lucas looks puzzled, asking why she's crying or if she feels sick. Hearing this, she considers a big brain move. Maybe she can fake a fever and make a break for it, but there's no way out. So Yeon's voice shakes with pure nerves as she finally admits she's a wreck. She's terrified of crushing his toes. Then, Lucas actually gives her a soft smile. Her heart basically stops. Is she dreaming? Lucas actually smiled at her. He extends his hand, inviting her to the center floor. How is someone this gorgeous even real? She's low-key mad at the gods for making him such a thirst trap. His face is just illegal. She stares at him, mesmerized. Is this what they call main character energy? She's stumbling through the steps, but Lucas is a pro. He effortlessly guides her through the rhythm. She finally finds her flow. Even Lucas's icy exterior starts to thaw. Then, a sharp pain shoots through her ankle. She lets out a sharp gasp. From across the room, Aiden screams Cecilia's name in a total panic. Aiden rushes over to check the damage. She gives him a vague answer, trying to play it cool. Inside, she's screaming. These heels are literal torture devices, and they're shredding her feet. Thank God it's not a sprain. Aiden immediately sprints off to find her some comfortable flats. She giggles, thinking he's basically an obedient puppy. Then it hits her, she totally forgot about Lucas. She feels terrible for ghosting him mid-dance. She starts to apologize for the abrupt ending to their moment, but when she looks back, the floor is empty. Suddenly, a realization strikes. It's showtime for her perfect fireworks display. Aiden will be gone for a minute, so she makes a move. She's not letting a pair of shoes ruin her big debut. She heads straight for the launch site. Nearby, a noblewoman points out the sky looks sketch. Her friend agrees. Rain wasn't in the forecast. Someone shrieks that there's a literal eye watching them from the swirling clouds. Everyone looks up in a daze. Suddenly, a monster rips through the sky, and pure chaos erupts. So Yeon squints. This beast looks familiar. She racks her brain, trying to place it in the game's timeline. Bingo! This is the hideous monster from Aiden's big event. According to the script, things get messy. Aiden is supposed to swoop in and save the day. This event never ends in a game over. She just needs to chill and wait for him. But then, Isabella's desperate scream pierces the air. So Yeon's stomach drops. The crowd is a stampede, and Isabella is stuck. She yells for her to get up. The beast is closing in fast. She screams for someone to help the girl, but everyone is too busy running. A dark thought crosses her mind. Isabella is just a side character. If she's gone, the plot stays the same. She immediately slaps herself mentally. How could she be so heartless? She's not a total monster. She can't let Cecilia become a cold-blooded villain. She has to be better than that. She kicks off her heels and sprints barefoot toward Isabella. She prays Aiden shows up soon. Out of nowhere, Lucas appears and snatches Isabella from death. So Yeon is completely shook. This isn't how it goes. In the game, Lucas wasn't near this event. Why is he the hero instead of Aiden? Aiden promised to be back with shoes. By now, he should have been the one saving the day. What changed? The beast recoiled, trembling before Lucas's explosive mana. A sudden spark of genius ignited. The pyrotechnic spectacle was ready to blow. With the tubes primed and loaded, the monster's sudden appearance was a wild card. Could these fireworks actually double as a lethal weapon? Rain lashed down, but Soyeon's resolve never wavered. "Please, work!" she prayed, leveling the cannon and unleashing a thunderous blast. Gasps erupted from the crowd as all eyes flew to the tower. "Look, it's the princess!" they cried in utter disbelief. Just as the citizens began to cheer for their savior, the nightmare resumed. The monster lunged again, refusing to stay down. Death targeted Soyeon, but Aiden was faster. In a heartbeat, he swept her up into his iron-clad protective embrace. Panic surged through Soyeon as the beast struck. "Aiden, watch out!" she screamed, her heart hammering against her ribs. Right on cue, Lucas intervened, subduing the thrashing beast with cold efficiency. "Get to safety, and hide," he commanded sharply. Aiden wasn't about to stay on the sidelines. He drew his blade, plunging steel deep into the heart of the struggling creature. Aiden sighed, mourning the ruined specimen. But Lucas was pragmatic. "Bring it back. We need to know who's pulling the strings. Monsters don't just wander in. They're unleashed." Soyeon turned to Lucas, her gratitude genuine for the life he'd just saved. While everyone breathed easy thanks to Lucas, Aiden's focus was elsewhere. He silently handed the shoes back to a stunned Soyeon. Guilt etched his face as he muttered a heavy apology. "I'm a failure," he whispered, unable to even meet her gaze. He was devastated by his own weakness, but Soyeon wouldn't have it. "Don't blame yourself," she urged with a gentle smile. "I'm the one who should apologize," she confessed. She dreamed of a perfect show, only to watch it crumble into chaos. "I caused this disaster," she lamented. Seeing Aiden's eyes well up, Soyeon panicked, desperately trying to soothe her weeping knight. Suddenly, a roar of approval swept the square. "Long live the princess!" the people shouted, hailing their hero with joy. Soyeon finally exhaled. The crisis was over, no lives were lost, and she had accidentally become the Empire's biggest star. But the butterfly effect was real. By making Aiden fetch those shoes, she'd shattered the original game plot beyond repair. Anxiety gnawed at her. If one small choice caused this much drama, what other catastrophes were waiting in the shadows? Ella was spinning wild tales, claiming the princess wielded a fortress-sized cannon that vaporized the beast instantly. Talk about total overkill. "Aiden was so dreamy," Ella gushed, wishing she'd been at the end of his blade. Soyeon just blinked, finding it utterly absurd. Sure, the cannon blast on the festival's opening night had dealt some serious damage to the rampaging creature. But let's be real, Aiden and Lucas did the heavy lifting. They were the ones who actually finished the beast off. The fireworks were a total bust, but hope remained. The Sky Lanterns, a special collaboration with Vivian, were the new main event. Mid-conversation, a sudden realization hit her like a truck. "Wait, has anyone seen Aiden lately?" she asked, looking around. Ella didn't miss a beat. The second he got your okay, he bolted straight for the training grounds to grind. Haunted by his perceived failure, Aiden was currently pushing his body to the absolute limit, with relentless sword training. It wasn't just Aiden. The monster incident had left Soyeon and Victor buried under a mountain of urgent royal paperwork. Clingy nobles were driving Soyeon insane with fake praise until Princess Ella suddenly lunged forward and snatched her hand. "Marry me," Ella declared boldly. She was totally obsessed with the cannon-wielding hero who had conquered the beast. Her maid nearly had a stroke. "Princess, stop! You need gold, silver, and jewels before you can propose like that." Soyeon, who just wanted to be a shut-in, was now drowning in royal drama and a million trivial matters. Feeling utterly smothered, she managed to dodge her attendants and escaped into the palace gardens to clear her head. Watching the water flow, she tried to relax, but her mind raced. Was Cecilia's would-be assassin also behind the monster attack? The suspects were chillingly close. The aging emperor and Prince Victor. The very people Cecilia should have trusted most. "I have to use every bit of game knowledge I have," she whispered. This was survival, and she had to play perfectly. "I'm Cecilia, and I'm going to win this," she shouted. Suddenly, a cold, mocking sneer drifted from the shadows behind her. "If you're not her, who are you?" the voice mocked. They traded barbs, comparing each other's aimless wandering to grazing cattle. Their petty bickering was suddenly cut short by a silky, feminine voice echoing through the moonlit garden. "It's nice to see siblings getting along," the newcomer teased. Soyeon froze. It was Isabella Montfort, the Juron Empire's fifth princess. Dread pooled in Soyeon's stomach. In the game, Isabella was the ultimate traitor. So why was she showing up now? She belonged at the wedding, not here. Victor started a formal introduction, but Isabella was already moving in for the kill. She boldly linked her arm with his, laughing off the formalities. "Victor, honey, we're way past being polite, aren't we?" Soyeon was completely lost, but the woman just smirked. Still clueless. "I see," she teased, her smugness practically radiating. "I'm Victor's fiancé," Soyeon screams. Victor sneers, telling her to shut it. Isabella gloats, claiming they'll debut their engagement at the Sky Lantern Festival. Soyeon is fuming. This timing is a direct hit to sabotage her own event. Suddenly, Lucas drops in, declaring they're a total mismatch. Soyeon is stunned. She never expected Lucas to play the knight in shining armor for her. Isabella throws a fit, screeching about Lucas's rude interruption and demanding he be silenced. She wants Victor to handle him. Lucas just scoffs. "You aren't even official yet. Stay in your lane." Victor bites back, defending Isabella as his future wife and demanding Lucas show some respect. Isabella clings to Victor, swooning. Soyeon watches, realizing the game's script is going completely off the rails. Suddenly, Lucas grabs Soyeon's hand. Her face instantly flushes like a ripe strawberry. He doubles down, reminding everyone that Isabella isn't the fiancé yet. Then, he serves them an eviction. "This spot is for actual couples. Leave before you see something too intense for your eyes." Victor is livid, snarling Lucas's name through clenched teeth before storming away in a rage. Isabella scrambles after him. Soyeon exhales, but Lucas's shift in tone makes her spine tingle with fear. He turns cold, warning her that being this defenseless makes her a perfect target for an early grave. Soyeon stammers that Aiden's just away and she's being careful. Lucas isn't buying the excuses. "Then be more careful," he snaps. He warns her that breaking their pact will have consequences. Their deal only matters if she seizes the throne. His protection has its limits. His patience is wearing thin. Soyeon quickly swears to stay sharp. Her heart is hammering, but she forces herself to stay composed and focus on the mission. Remembering her goal, she asks Lucas to dig for dirt on Victor. He looks annoyed. She reminds him they're partners by contract. Lucas sighs but eventually agrees to investigate the guy. Soyeon whispers that Victor didn't even notice Cecilia's beauty. She nervously invites Lucas to her room later. She wonders if this choice will unlock a better ending. Soyeon sprints back, clutching her secret weapon. It's her ultimate strategy guide, Please Be the Princess. She spent sleepless nights pouring every scrap of game knowledge into these pages. Despite the gaps, she feels ready. Lucas enters, looking disgusted by her weird physical performance request. He suddenly snatches her notebook. Soyeon panics as he starts flipping through her private notes. He stares at her drawings, utterly confused. Soyeon screams for him to stop invading her privacy. It's a disaster. He's looking at the heart-fluttering first encounter scene she sketched out. Mortified, she remembers it as their childhood grassland scene. Is he staring because he's moved? Is this a bird? Lucas asks, instantly killing the vibe. Fuming, she grabs the book back. It's an arm, she shouts, shifting focus to their dynamic. Are Lucas and Victor actually enemies? In the game, they were rivals. She suggests Victor is their common foe, but Lucas cuts her off. He denies it bluntly. To him, Victor is just a minor obstacle in her way. She argues that working together for the crown is a win-win, but Lucas shuts her down. He won't intervene. Her request violates their pact. He asks if she's already forgotten the rules. Seeing her blank stare, he sighs and lays out the 3 chilling clauses. Rule 1. He helps her become emperor. Rule 2. Post-coronation, they stay out of each other's business. Rule 3. Anyone who blocks their path must be eliminated by their own hands. Soyeon is horrified. She signed a death warrant. Lucas reminds her that this was her idea. He only agreed to her terms. If Victor is a problem, she has to kill him herself. How can he talk about ending lives so coldly? These aren't just NPCs anymore. Victor died in the game, but reality is shifting. Soyeon sighs, feeling the weight of it. Lucas watches her silently. Ever since the poisoning, her once decisive mind has become strangely soft. Lucas hints that their deal might be flexible later, but Soyeon cuts him off, insisting she still has 12 slips. Killing just isn't in her nature, so she's forced to lean on Lucas for help. If she presents those lanterns, there's no way he'll look disappointed. She beams, calling him the perfect fiancé, while Lucas secretly confirms she's totally unhinged. When the sky lanterns arrive, the staff handles them with extreme care, terrified they might tip over and crash. Soyeon's jaw drops at the sight. They're absolute units. Vivian proudly introduces the project as their joint magnum opus of the century. Soyeon is shook. Is that massive thing seriously her lantern? Can it even catch air? Vivian is pure confidence, but Soyeon is spiraling. Even if it can fly, it actually has to gain lift first. Vivian's ego is soaring. She demanded to craft the most legendary sky lantern the entire world had ever witnessed. Naturally, that meant going big. Soyeon is caught between laughing and crying. This surprise is literally way too massive. Seeing her reaction, Vivian thoughtfully mentions they have backup lanterns if this one doesn't pass the vibe check. The festival officially kicks off. The Emperor delivers a speech, wishing for everyone to cast aside their daily burdens and just vibe. Soyeon is low-key regretting everything. She should have stayed basic. Suddenly, the crew arrives to signal that it's showtime. Soyeon snaps into action, scrambling to get ready. The crowd collectively loses it in total awe. The moment Soyeon's lantern is revealed, whispers break out about its sheer size, but others quickly shut them down, claiming the visual impact is nothing short of breathtaking. Meanwhile, the Emperor watches with pure venom in his eyes. He mutters about what kind of stunt Soyeon is pulling now, while his advisor predicts this will be legendary. With the crowd hyped, Soyeon's confidence hits an all-time high. She gears up for the next phase of her performance. Aiden's voice cuts through the noise, and Soyeon sprints toward him, shouting triumphantly about their massive win. Aiden gives her a soft look, admitting the lantern looks spectacular even from a great distance away. Without thinking, Soyeon tilts her head up, begging for a compliment. Aiden just watches her, his expression totally unreadable. Waiting with her head tilted, he feels the heat of embarrassment, whispering her name in total shock. Reality hits her like a truck, and her face turns beet red. Did she seriously just reenact a game scene? How cringe! She was so deep in her thoughts about the game's romance that her body just moved automatically. Panicked, Soyeon fumbles for an excuse to bolt. Aiden simply nods, his voice gentle as she flees the scene. Confusion and warmth swirl in his gaze. Inside, Soyeon is screaming. What is she even doing with her life? The sky erupts into a sea of glowing lanterns. A sight so stunning it instantly erases all her previous cringeworthy memories. All the blood, sweat, and tears during the build feel worth it now. This is pure magic. She used to think one lantern was enough, but seeing them bloom together across the night sky is on a whole other level. Her heart races. The main event is coming. Suddenly, a bystander points out something unusual about the massive lantern. Then, boom, it explodes into a million glittering stardust fragments that rain over the sky. The crowd goes wild. These are the legendary Stardust fragments from the game. Soyeon smirks with pure pride. Her secret master plan went off without a single hitch. These fragments might look like tiny star candies, but for the average person, they're the ultimate power source worth more than pure gold to non-magic users. This explosion wasn't just a fireworks show. It was a perfect blend of high-end spectacle and life-changing utility. Pride swells in her chest, but she forces herself to stay cool as the waves of applause crash around her. She offers a humble thanks, while inside, she's doing a victory dance. There's no doubt about it. After tonight, her clout will skyrocket, putting her one step closer to the throne. But the Emperor? He's absolutely fuming. How dare she use his bit of kindness to overshadow him? In his mind, she's a threat to be eliminated. His right-hand man nods in agreement, and just like that, the Lantern Festival ends on a note of dark tension. The teen popularity rankings are out, and Cecilia has officially dethroned Victor. Soyeon lets out a hyped giggle. She can practically hear Victor's teeth grinding from here. Total satisfaction. Now, she just needs to probe his real intentions, a task she's already dumped on Lucas. Now, it's time to chill. She takes a breath of the fresh air, letting the perfect weather boost her mood. The vibrant sky and lush trees are a vibe. Suddenly, a shadow dives, catching Soyeon off guard. A raven screeches, "Report," on loop, announcing it has an urgent memo from Lucas. It starts blabbing contract details at max volume. Soyeon shushes it immediately, dragging the bird into her room. A shadowy silhouette flickered on the game UI. Is this it? With a subtle gesture, she orders the creature to speak. The report confirms the unthinkable. Prince Victor's engagement isn't just a rumor, it's officially underway. Soyeon freezes in pure disbelief. That arrogant royal prick is actually tying the knot. The message ends with a promise. The full intel drops tonight. Instructions flash. Contact Raven in a crisis. A light bulb moment hits Soyeon. So, this feathered messenger goes by the name Raven. She eagerly awaits Lucas's late-night visit, starving for more intel. Soyeon can't help but be totally awestruck by this world. Raven's speech flows with haunting precision. It's uncanny. He sounds exactly like Lucas. This has to be high-level magic at work. She makes a mental note to grill Vivian later. Suddenly, Lucas's voice sneers, mocking her for creating trash once again. Soyeon snaps back, defending her masterpiece, while coolly ordering Ella to get the tea service ready for their guest. Lucas clarifies that the fifth princess remains a wild card, but this engagement looks like more than just empty political chatter. Soyeon's mind races. Is Victor fast-tracking this wedding because she's on his radar? But something still feels off. She's positive. Victor feels zero sparks for Isabella Montfort. She needs to uncover his true motive. And fast. Lucas drops more tea. Victor is eyeing an alliance with the Gate family to bolster his influence and power. The Grand Capital renovation has officially kicked off under Victor's watch, with suspicious levels of frequent activity. Soyeon's brain starts to glitch. The Capital project is a labyrinthine mess, so she shelves it for the moment. She thanks Lucas, but he isn't done. He wants to rewrite their contract. Instantly, Soyeon's heart does a nervous somersault. Recalling his previous demands, she's dying to ask why, though she could probably list 100 reasons why he's over her. Soyeon blurts out an apology, fearing she's pushed him too far and ruined his mood with her constant demands. Lucas keeps it cold. The new terms ban all physical contact unless they're performing a scene for the public. With blatant revulsion, he admits he has zero desire to lay a finger on her. Soyeon is absolutely floored. Shook that he finds her repulsive, she bolts up to demand an explanation before catching herself in a frantic state. She fumbles for an excuse about palace rumors, but internally screams, "What year is it? Is he for real? Has he forgotten his role as the male lead?" Lucas remains stone-faced, calling her dramatic outburst totally pathetic. He scoffs at the idea of gossip and warns that her messy emotions are beneath her. "Keep it together," he suggests. He plans to scout the beast attack site and will be ghosting the palace for the foreseeable future. His parting order? Don't come looking for me. Soyeon stands frozen, blindsided by his sudden exit strategy. The door slams before she can protest. Fuming, she reminds herself she's Cecilia, the ultimate, cold-blooded villainess. The old Cecilia used to drag Aiden into her cruel games, terrorizing other kids for sport. That was her vibe. But after the Empress's death, that radiant smile vanished. Losing her mother turned her world into a dark void. Grief twisted her into a monster who lashed out at everyone. Yet, she was still the child he vowed to shield. Caught in his head, his blade is disarmed. He stammers an apology as his subordinate lets out a frustrated sigh. His peer grumbles that he's overtraining and needs to touch grass. Aiden just bows, offering another quiet apology. He admits his headspace is a total mess. The crew gasps. Wait, is there a girl involved in this? Aiden turns bright red and aggressively denies it, barking orders to resume training. Soyeon, however, is still spiraling. Vivian's request is insane. 100 strands of Aiden's hair. She teases that since Soyeon is always clingy, it's light work. Vivian plays coy, hinting at the dark magic 100 hairs could fuel. Soyeon looks ready to have a total meltdown. She can't exactly start yanking his hair out. Suddenly, a genius, if slightly creepy idea, sparks in her mind. Perhaps she'll just scavenge for loose strands on his clothes. If she hits the quota, she avoids doing something totally idiotic. Anything is better than plucking. What Vivian does next isn't her problem. Aiden enters the room, looking totally confused. He's wary of the summons, but Soyeon just offers a bright, overly enthusiastic wave, gesturing for him to take a seat. Aiden's confusion peaks. Why is he sitting here? But when her hand reaches for his hair, his heart stops. Aiden's eyes go wide. Soyeon panics, insisting she's definitely not doing anything sketchy or weird right now. She tells him to stay still. As the comb slides through his hair, Aiden's stomach ties in knots. Outside, Ella is stressed. Surely her mistress isn't back to her bizarre, hair-obsessed antics again, right? Staring at her hairy haul, Soyeon grins. She managed to snag way more than she even hoped for. That's plenty for now, she chirps. Too much grooming is risky. Aiden eyes her with pure suspicion. What are you planning? Sensing a heavy vibe, Soyeon pivots, asking if his training is going smoothly. Aiden plays it cool. Everything seems normal, but Soyeon sees right through the act and demands the cold truth. Aiden finally cracks, confessing his worries about the prince's massive Imperial Waterway project. Hearing about the river construction, Soyeon remembers Lucas dropping hints about this very project before. Confusion sets in. The Empire already has a massive river, so why build another one? Aiden is clueless, but Victor has gone as far as mobilizing the entire Imperial Guard for it. Training is sidelined for now. Hearing this, Soyeon's blood boils at the sheer audacity of it all. Victor hijacked Aiden's squad just to dig a ditch. Aiden can only offer a defeated, helpless smile. Supposedly, it is for public water. Soyeon scoffs. How could Aiden actually believe that nonsense? That river is not dry. This project is just a pathetic excuse to build a private villa. It is pure shamelessness. She refuses to let Victor burn military power on his personal playground. She is determined to wreck this project, though a solid plan hasn't clicked just yet. She racks her brain. If only she could deport Victor, but reality is never that simple. Wait, if this were a game, she would just exploit a glitch. Her eyes spark with inspiration. One broken link collapses the chain. Aiden's men are on site. Time to use them as double agents. They can scout the construction zone and dig up dirt on Victor's shady crimes. Victor expects a move, so they must act casual. She puts the training on pause. Strategy time. Meanwhile, a blue messenger bird lands on Victor's desk with a fresh report. The project is on track, but Victor is distracted by a lingering, frustrating mystery. How did Cecilia score so many Stardust fragments? The answer is obvious. That witch, Vivian. It is a no-brainer. He tried to recruit her, but Vivian swore loyalty to Cecilia instead. Victor loses his cool. He cannot fathom losing, but Vivian offers a shred of comfort. Cecilia only won because she has Aiden. Victor swallows his pride, somewhat understanding the logic. Aiden has been her shadow since childhood, but Lucas's choices make absolutely zero sense to him. They were childhood fiancés. Since when did he catch feelings? Isabella is just as pretty, anyway. Too bad she is a total airhead. He cannot believe she actually fell for his true love act. Still, she is a useful pawn. Time to play the part and pen a fake letter. He orders his man to deliver the note, dripping with artificial affection, to Isabella. The guard internally cringes at the blatant lies, but hey, it is not his problem. Orders are orders. Back at the field, Soyeon calls Aiden's name until he finally snaps out of it. She grills him on Waterway, 3 security. Aiden just stares, mesmerized by her strange energy. He thought seeing her would be grounding. Noticing his dazed look, Soyeon asks if he is sick. She insists on dealing a lethal blow to Victor's project and asks to borrow his elite squad. Using his men won't raise red flags. Aiden agrees instantly, vouching for their absolute loyalty. They will bring back the evidence. Hyped, Soyeon thanks him and invites him to a victory lunch. Aiden's cheeks turn crimson. He is caught in her spell, thinking she is breathtaking. Then, disaster strikes. Soyeon trips right into his arms. Aiden panics, asking if she is hurt. The sudden closeness. It is exactly like the back hug scene from the game. Her face heats up as butterflies go wild. Lost in her shy, inner fangirl moment, she accidentally blabs her secret thoughts out loud. Aiden is completely lost. Realizing her mistake, she frantically plays it off, leaving him totally puzzled. He lets it go. Soyeon pivots to lunch, living her best life with 3 gourmet meals a day. Reincarnating as a princess is a total cheat code. Today's feast is for the grand festival. Eliana joins the party. Ever since her garden tumble, she has been head over heels for Lucas. Eliana gushes over the lantern explosion idea. So-yeon can only offer a nervous, awkward laugh. The plagiarism guilt is real. Lunch begins, and she is already manifesting the perfect main course. As a purple lobster hits the table, she's guessing, is it pork, chicken, maybe beef? The chef claims lobsters turn red when cooked, but So-young's smile vanishes. Aiden clocks her deathly pale face. She masks her distress, but a dark memory of her mother's cooking resurfaces. Anticipation turned to agony. One bite triggered violent sickness. Now she fights the urge to gag. Blaming a sour stomach, she retreats to her room. Aiden watches her, completely lost. Lobster once meant joy. Now, alone, So-young admits even the sight of it turns her stomach. Heartbroken and defeated, she thought she'd adapted. She never saw this trigger coming. This new reflection still feels foreign. Her hair glows deep gold, clashing with Aiden's shimmering silver. Lucas looks almost ordinary. Suddenly, Felix and Ella knock, checking if dinner's over. They reveal a massive haul of fan mail. So-young stares at the mountain of gifts, stunned by the love. Felix presents the letters while Ella complains that sorting this chaos took forever. Fionn kills her excitement, chanting her new name Cecilia. Meanwhile, elsewhere, Lucas dives into beast research, his face darkening at a strange discovery. The reagent in his cup makes no sense. No reaction. He realizes these man-made monsters are immune to standard reagents. Lucas summons Raven, resenting the fact that he's getting dragged into this mess. He's tethered to Cecilia now. So-young eyes a bottle of red liquid, asking, "What is this?" "Human blood," Lucas says coldly. So-young's heart stops at the gruesome truth. Forbidden magic. She realizes the beast was a puppet, and Lucas nods grimly. Someone's playing with fire. One wrong move with forbidden magic, and the caster dies instantly. It raises the dead and bends beasts to its will. No wonder the Empire banned it centuries ago. Blood is the catalyst. So-young wants to track the source, but Lucas shuts her down immediately. Denied before she could even finish. Lucas claims he's too swamped with official duties for her games. He won't run blood tests on the entire kingdom. So-young wonders, can the Emperor or Prince cast magic? They don't need magic when they can buy mages. Suddenly, a panicked servant bursts in. The Emperor demands her presence now. His furious roar shakes the very foundation of the hall. He screams that she's cursing her own father. So-young is fuming she's just following his orders. She's clueless. Then Victor slides in, playing the concerned hero. It makes her skin crawl. Where did he come from? The Emperor snaps at Duke Grayson to produce the evidence. Grayson? That name rings a bell. Suddenly, a comb is slammed down. Explain why this was in my room. So-young's heart drops. That's the exact comb she used to style Aiden's hair. It was locked in her drawer, the Emperor bellows. Who did you sneak into my chambers? He thinks it's a death threat. Are you telling me you can slit my throat whenever you want? Aiden jumps in to protect her. It's just a comb, Your Majesty. This has to be a mistake. She tries to stop him, but the Emperor's hand flies out, striking Aiden across the face with a sickening crack. So-young shakes with rage. This monster is just like her stepfather. She lunges toward the bleeding Aiden. He claims he's fine to keep her calm, but So-young's fury finally boils over. She confronts the tyrant head-on. You never even visit your own chambers. What is this really about? If I wanted you dead, she spits, I wouldn't use a comb. You'd already be in the ground. The Emperor is stunned. Victor jumps in to play peacemaker, calling Duke Grayson to testify. It hits her. Grayson is Victor's pawn. Every alarm bell in her head starts screaming. The Graysons are elite. These two plotting together? This is a coup in the making. Victor asks for confirmation, and Grayson nods. But then he pivots. Is this actually So-young's? A comb isn't proof, he muses. The Emperor is baffled as Victor flashes a snake-like smile at So-young. He declares the comb harmless. Don't worry, Your Majesty. All real threats have been neutralized. No need for panic. So-young's brain spins. Why on earth is Victor actually taking her side? What's his play? The Emperor's icy gaze pierces So-young as he vows she'll pay for her crimes one day. So-young, however, isn't backing down. She's innocent, so why should she grovel for mercy now? Victor whispers a cryptic message that calms the Emperor's rage. As the ruler turns to leave, the truth hits So-young. By royal decree, both parties are disgraced if the Emperor walks away first. Their reputation takes a massive hit. A guilt-ridden Aiden apologizes, but So-young masks her burning fury. She tells him it's fine, but Victor's sudden, nasty chuckle snaps her attention back to him. He plays dumb while mocking her, fueling her rage. Still, her priority remains Aiden's well-being. Seeing his handsome face, scarred boils her blood. Aiden tries to play it off as nothing. He claims these are just battle scars from training, but So-young's heart sinks at the sight. Even with the Empire's elite medicine, she can't shake the crushing weight of self-blame. Suddenly, a loud crash shatters the silence. A bloodied bird collapses into the room. It's a mangled raven! Ella rushes over, finding the poor creature clinging to its final breath. Tension spikes as they fear the worst. Felix steps in, confirming a faint heartbeat remains. As Felix expertly treats the wound, Soyeon is stunned by his hidden medical talents. He flashes a grin, revealing this was his true purpose. Soyeon feels a strange, new flutter. There's more to this place than she realized. Isabella immediately points the finger at Victor. Soyeon doubts he'd be that sloppy. Felix reveals the bird was struck by a calculated arrow. It'll survive, but a chilling detail emerges. This raven belongs to Lucas. Who would dare attack so openly? Meanwhile, a composed Isabella asks if her present arrived. Her subordinate confirms the hit. A dark smile spreads across Isabella's face. Her eyes turn predatory. It's time to eliminate anyone standing in her path to the top. Soyeon delivers the news to Lucas. She knew deep down this bird was his. Lucas exhales, his soul nearly leaving his body. He's eternally grateful for her quick thinking. Soyeon brushes it off, giving all the credit to Felix for saving Nova's life. Lucas reveals Nova isn't just a bird, but a spirit familiar capable of human speech. Nova croaks out a thank you. Soyeon recalls the ancient lore regarding these mystical bonds. If a familiar perishes, the master's soul is shattered. This was an assassination attempt. The question haunts her. Who did this? This wasn't a kill shot, it was a brutal warning. Are they targeting her, Lucas, or both? The arrow is gone, leaving Lucas to blame Victor. Soyeon isn't convinced. Victor was busy being scolded alongside her. He couldn't have done it. She's completely lost. This event never happened in the original game. Soyeon jots notes in her strategy guide before pivoting to Nova's status. Felix delivers the blow. Recovery will take 2 whole weeks. Panic flares as Soyeon realizes time is ticking. Right then, she vows to master healing magic at lightning speed. The room explodes in pure chaos at her wild claim, but Soyeon just gives a stone-cold nod. She's dead serious about this path. With 0 medical talent and no time to rot over textbooks, magic is her only shot. Arcane power is the ultimate shortcut, but Lucas is ready to kill the vibe with a harsh reality check. He warns that willpower isn't enough. Real sorcery takes years of grinding, not an overnight glow-up. Soyeon begrudgingly admits he's right. Giving up? Not in her DNA. Desperate, she grills them on whether her past self ever set foot in a magic academy. Ella reveals she prioritized imperial politics, while Felix snickers that she spent her extra time in acting classes instead. A chilling thought hits. Soyeon was Cecilia's supposed kindness, just a top-tier performance from those very drama lessons? Apparently, political theory was her vibe. Soyeon's shook that her previous life was so notoriously high-profile. She's spiraling now. Is there 0 way to download magic skills without hitting the books? The squad laughs off her delusion, calling her straight-up naive. Lucas just stares, reading her like a book. He remembers a kid with similar dreams, but Soyeon already knows there's no way Lucas is becoming her sensei. School is a hard pass, leaving her stranded. Meanwhile, the group gossips about the princess's insane character arc. From hating magic to thirsty for mana, Felix ships the change, chalking it all up to the legendary power of love. Lucas, a master mage himself, is totally lost in the sauce. Fast forward to tomorrow, and Soyeon tracks down Vivian. Vivian instantly starts making demands, leaving Soyeon clueless until she blurts it out. She needs a strand of Aiden's hair. Vivian complains about the lag, leaving Soyeon fuming. Like, how is she supposed to just snatch his hair on command? Is Vivian gonna pay for Aiden's hair plugs? Soyeon cuts her off to ask a favor, but Vivian raises the price to 1,000 strands. Ghosting the hair request, Soyeon begs for a magic apprenticeship with dead serious eyes. Vivian is legit confused by the vibe shift. Vivian senses a plot, and Soyeon can only offer a guilty smirk. She can't exactly out herself as a transmigrator looking for a power-up. Remembering Nova's pain and the Emperor's toxic energy, she knows the drill. These villains only respect raw power and crush the weak. They think she's a total pushover, which is why they're so bold. She can take the hits herself, but she won't let her squad get hurt. To survive these unscripted plot twists, she needs to evolve and fast. She craves ultimate power and a real backbone. In the original game, Cecilia was just a muggle hiring muscle, but this Soyeon wants the crown for herself. Suddenly, a chaotic idea sparks in her brain. She asks for some legendary amnesia spell. Vivian scoffs, calling her delusional since that's literally top tier, final boss magic. Newbies shouldn't expect instant hacks, but seeing Soyeon's unshakable resolve, Vivian finally caves. She offers to teach the basics, sending Soyeon into a total hype mode as she lunges for a hug. Vivian is not about that life and shoves her away with total disgust, telling her to back off. She drops the tea. The basics are simple. It's all about focus, healing, moving stuff with your mind, and manifesting mana. Intent is everything. Then comes the first quest, paralyze the creepy crawly sitting right in front of her. Soyeon's skin is literally crawling. This entry-level grind is way harder than expected, but Vivian demands immediate, ruthless action. Peak focus is required. She needs to lock in on a single point, so Soyeon forces her brain into overdrive. Inside, she's screaming that this is impossible, but she's already committed. There's no turning back from this training arc now. She's chanting focus like a mantra, trying to lock in, but staring at that revolting bug. It's too much. Soyeon finally loses it, wailing about why the tutorial stage has to be so nasty. Zero progress. Soyeon is in full-blown tears, sobbing about how long this grueling practice is gonna last. Vivian's response is ice cold. Until you get it right. Soyeon tries to retreat to her room, but Vivian shuts it down. A mentor is non-negotiable. Plus, the shed is the only spot within Vivian's magical reach. She just naps and tells Soyeon to wake her when she wins. Soyeon is fuming. Is this a teacher or a villain in disguise? Her mind starts to wander. If she was still stuck in her old life as Lee Soyeon, what would she be doing? She'd likely be a shut-in gaming addict or worse, a literal kitchen slave for that jerk Han Jin-woo. Could she ever have escaped that toxic house? Suddenly, memories of her mother flood back, even if she wasn't perfect. She was a million times better than Jin-woo. She was the only light in her life. Soyeon quickly brushes away the tears. She pours her soul into magic training, eyes locked onto the insect as she chants pass out like a mantra. The jar trembles violently. Success! The bug freezes, leaving Soyeon caught between disbelief and pure hype. It stopped! She screams, jolting a confused Vivian from her nap. Twilight falls as Soyeon spots Aiden outside. Wait, how long have you been standing there? She gasps. Always on duty, her knight replies softly, before asking if her magical awakening has finally begun. She nods, venting about the sheer exhaustion of staring at that repulsive bug for hours on end. Grinning, she flexes her new powers. Vivian wasn't kidding. Telekinesis really is the gateway to everything. Days later, the mansion echoes with the maids' cheers as Soyeon prepares to manifest her power once more. Channeling memories of her mother, she focuses her intent. With a sharp intake of breath, mana flares to life. Celebration erupts, but a white-hot migraine hits Soyeon. Each cast is an absolute mana sink, leaving her drained. Ella beams, noting her improved flow. Too easy, Soyeon quips, masking her fatigue with total confidence. Once she masters the basics, her true affinity will awaken. Her heart is set on becoming a healer. She was always a support main in games, but throwing fireballs? That's starting to sound low-key iconic. Levitating a teapot leaves her running on empty. She's ready to crash when Aiden's voice suddenly cuts through the air. Turning back, she finds Aiden dropping to one knee. Aiden, what on earth are you doing? She stammers. He confesses his dark secret. His original vow was built on pity and a selfish desire for control. He looked down on her, convinced she'd be lost without him, completely ignoring her true agency. Thank you for opening my eyes, he whispers. Soyeon blinks, totally clueless about how she even did that. Aiden is dead serious. He swears a lifelong oath of protection, sparking a warmth deep in Soyeon's soul. The old Cecilia never could have reached him like this. A genuine connection finally begins to bloom. I'm becoming the Emperor, she declares boldly, and you're staying right by my side. Rustle. A sudden sound from the garden puts Aiden on high alert instantly. Blade drawn, Aiden shields her as a massive beast lunges from the greenery. Wait, it's just a dog. Soyeon's eyes sparkle. Is he actually coming to say hi to me? Isabella panics, but Soyeon just laughs. Relax, look at him. He's just a giant fluffy sweetheart. Totally harmless, Soyeon insists. Isabella tries to warn her about the owner, but a voice barks out, Atlas. A stranger rushes in, bowing frantically in apology. Soyeon studies his attire. This isn't one of her people. He's clearly someone else's servant. Beside her, Aiden's face turns lethally cold. Take the dog and go, Sebastian. Aiden growls. Soyeon freezes. Aiden actually knows this guy? Sebastian begs the dog to move, but Atlas won't budge. Soyeon's heart melts seeing the stubborn pup. Let him stay, she suggests with a smile. Atlas is just too cute to leave yet. Cecilia, don't, Aiden warns, his voice tense. He isn't the owner. A chill runs down Soyeon's spine. If not him, then who? A hauntingly familiar voice suddenly drifts from the shadows. There you are, Atlas. The dog trots over as Victor steps out, a mocking smirk on his lips. Ooh, found a new boyfriend already? Victor sneers, enjoying the way Soyeon's face instantly darkens. Or perhaps an old flame? Seeing Victor, Soyeon's blood boils. That absolute snake is back. Bold of you to joke while the project is crashing, she snaps. Victor just shrugs nonchalantly. The Emperor approved it because of me, he brags. Soyeon isn't buying his arrogant lies. For the citizens, you're full of it, she fires back. But Victor's audacity knows no bounds. It's a partnership, he lies shamelessly. Soyeon is fuming, and even Aiden's calm voice can't stop her. She isn't that fragile girl anymore. Soyeon narrows her eyes, channeling every ounce of her mana. She strikes, but nothing. Her magic fizzles out against Victor like it was never there. What? She gasps. Victor's laughter echoes. You really thought you were the only mage here? Her heart sinks. He countered her perfectly. Nice try, amateur, Victor mocks with a cruel grin. I'm a busy man, he sneers, so quit while you're still ahead. Soyeon's comeback is lethal. Soyeon scoffs that she'd be free if she weren't fixing a certain someone's disasters. Victor just plays dumb, maintaining his innocent facade. Memories of yesterday's comb theft resurface. At the time, only 3 servants and Aiden had access to her private room. Lucas and Nova visited earlier, but she's certain Lucas isn't the culprit. Yet, the deeper she thinks, the more unsettling it feels. Why target that specific comb? Suddenly, Atlas sinks his teeth into Victor. Ignoring the pain, Victor warns Soyeon against playing the field. Stunned into silence, Soyeon bolts. He should worry more about his bleeding leg. Aiden later asks why on earth she'd provoke the prince. Soyeon snaps back that letting Victor's ego run wild only encourages him to test her boundaries even further. She recalls Aiden is her protector. Fearing her aggression might weigh on his conscience, she falls into a quiet, thoughtful silence. She promises to try not to trigger Victor, but Aiden shoots back. Lose the word try. He then shifts the topic. He needs to share something, but this place is crawling with spies. Seeking privacy, the pair ducks into a deserted corner. What's the news? Soyeon whispers. Aiden drops a bombshell. He's discovered a hidden tunnel right under their noses. Surveying the prince's secret site, Soyeon is floored and thrilled. She's ready to make her move right this second. Aiden holds her back, urging her to keep a cool head. Losing control won't fix anything. They must move with precision. His scouts are already monitoring the shadows. The mission kicks off tonight as Soyeon and Aiden craft their ultimate master plan. They'll strike at the signal, neutralizing Victor's crew to secure hard evidence. Being a hardcore gamer, Soyeon knows exactly how to play this. Soyeon is certain she can crush him. The site's hierarchy is lazy. Elite guards only handle the soft, easy tasks. All heavy lifting is dumped on commoners, particularly the night crews. Deep in the shadows, Aiden's team awaits his command. Ready to pounce, the team holds their breath, while Soyeon squeezes into a barrel. Aiden asks, is this plan actually sane? Relax, I'm good, she insists. Stealth is their only play here. She tells Aiden to stop fussing over her safety. She demands he initiate the mission immediately. Aiden sighs, defeated, telling her to at least tuck her fancy dress inside properly. Minutes crawl by. Finally, the mission they've been waiting for is live. Tucked inside her barrel, Soyeon's adrenaline is pumping. Peering through the cracks, she tracks every movement. Suddenly, a scout whispers the news. They've found the smoking gun. Soyeon grins. Everything is falling into place perfectly. If they can just expose this truth to the public, they've won. Victor's downfall is imminent. In the game's original lore, he always played his cards right and emerged unscathed. Though the masses once adored him, she won't back down. Wrecking even one of his precious villas is a massive win. Day 2, the secret site is blown wide open. The public is absolutely reeling in shock. The prince was building a secret palace. While the mob screams for blood, Aiden notices Victor's unnervingly calm expression. Aiden senses a trap, but Soyeon must keep the spoilers hidden. Suddenly, a figure makes a grand, sweeping entrance. Duke Grayson demands silence, questioning the prince's critics. Soyeon is stunned by his sudden, bold defense. She never expected the Duke to speak for Victor. Grayson spins a web of lies, claiming this mansion is a gift. Soyeon is floored by his audacity. She watches in horror as the crowd swallows the bait. It's pathetic, yet predictable. This era is easily manipulated. As Grayson wraps up, Victor steps out perfectly on cue, echoing the Duke's every lie. I'm one of you, he proclaims. Soyeon scoffs. It's a total circus. The crowd, however, is whipped into a frenzy. Long live the prince, they roar. Victor fakes modesty, claiming that empty talk will never be enough to satisfy him. Only action proves character. Soyeon's gut twists. She knows the script. It was never in the original game. The game usually skips this beat. Suddenly, Victor's tone shifts as he drops a massive bombshell on the crowd. He's gifting the whole project to Cecilia. He calls her dear sister, washing his hands of the entire mess. Soyeon is reeling. The sheer nerve of Victor to dodge accountability like this is absolutely criminal. The chaos turns into cheers. The masses hail him as a benevolent ruler, a literal angel walking among men. The transfer was a complete sham. By the time the news hit, Victor's crew had already vanished into thin air. Only a hollow shell remains. Now, Cecilia is the nation's biggest joke, exactly as the prince intended. This was Victor's endgame, yet, the strange part, he seems completely unbothered by the public exposure. Flashing back to the comb scandal, a cold realization finally hits Soyeon with total certainty. It's a joint plot between Victor and Grayson. That comb was private. Only a close confidant would know it existed. Victor's men never stepped inside. The truth is blindingly clear. A traitor lurks among her inner circle. Did you get it? Victor sneers. The spy offers Isabella's notebook, the one item Soyeon has been guarding with her life. Victor claws through the files, hunting for a weakness. Cecilia's newfound dominance is becoming a real threat. She's constantly eclipsing him, and he's desperate to put her back in her place. Who knew this princess loved paperwork? The realization hits him. She knows he's the one who swiped that comb. That heist was high stakes, but Cecilia's vibe is totally off lately. Even her speech is unrecognizable. It's like a different soul moved in. He glares at the scribbles, baffled by the bizarre script. The handwriting looks like chaotic gibberish. Victor barks at his men, demanding if they grabbed the wrong intel. They swear they snatched it the moment she looked away. Would Cecilia really produce such amateur doodles? It's a total head-scratcher. Despite being a linguistic genius, Victor has zero clues about this code. He hopes it's legit, but there's no official seal. Meanwhile, Vivian is absolutely fuming. She orders Soyeon to hunt bugs with magic, but Soyeon just hits her with a clueless smile. She'll use any crisis to dodge Vivian's training. Seriously, why does magic school involve creepy crawlies? Vivian claims it builds skill faster, leaving Soyeon lost. But magic is never just a walk in the park. Your focus must be instinctive, like breathing to reach the next tier. Just look at Soyeon's struggle. She's doing awkward gymnastics just to levitate a pot. Her zero-tier skills are totally exposed. She watches Vivian hustle, wondering about the endgame. Then, something catches her eye. Her jaw drops. It's the massive collection of Aiden's hair she'd been hoarding in secret. Vivian is deep in her zone, oblivious to the panic. Soyeon's heart nearly hammers out of her chest. Playing it cool, she sits back down, dying to know what Vivian is actually cooking up. Boom! A massive explosion rocks the room, cloaking everything in thick, gray smoke. Soyeon shrieks, checking if Vivian survived the blast. She's desperate for an explanation. Aiden bellows a warning as the haze clears. A mysterious shadow slowly steps into the light. Total silence falls until the creature lets out a tiny squeak. Vivian cheers success at last. Looking peak smug, she debates naming it Barney or Fluffy. Soyeon pokes the weird thing, confused. Wait, this was the goal? Soyeon asks. Vivian beams, flexing her new magical masterpiece. Now she won't need to raid Aiden's hairbrush anymore. Soyeon can't help but cringe internally. Building a creature from hair? It looks more like a plushie than a living beast. Vivian whispers that she still needs more of Aiden. This little fluff ball is surprisingly genius. It's already obsessed with Aiden. Soyeon just sighs sometimes, not knowing the truth is better. Back at her room, her trio of servants swarm her, eager to hear about her magic lesson. Soyeon groans about her bug-hunting marathon. Deep down, her mind is a total mess. A traitor is hiding among her inner circle. Suddenly, memories of young Cecilia's heartbreak resurface. The princess begged her mother to stay, but the dying consort could only whisper tearful apologies. Her pleas fell on deaf ears. The physician dragged her away so the patient could find peace. Past and present collide as Soyeon sees her real mother gasping on a hospital bed. "Mom!" she cries. Her mother whimpers about the agonizing pain, asking when the nightmare ends. Soyeon begs for a cure, but her mother's eyes roll back. The room descends into pure chaos. Doctors rush in with a defibrillator as the heart monitor flatlines. Soyeon's scream shatters the air. She jolts awake, drenched in sweat. It was just a dream, but the phantom pain remains. This world is just as suffocating as her old life. But does she really want to return? The answer is a hard no. It's not about some guy back home. It's much deeper. There's simply nothing left for her there. Suddenly, a sharp voice pulls her back to the present. Startled, she sees Lucas looming over her. "What are you doing here?" she stammers. Lucas scoffs. This is his private lab. Soyeon lets out a forced laugh, trying to play it cool. She claims she's prepping for tomorrow's big council meeting with the Emperor and Prince. Lucas looks unimpressed, so Soyeon starts rambling some weak excuse about being poisoned. Casting her pride aside, she pleads for Lucas to mentor her in the art of debate. He merely smirks with icy disdain. Claiming he is powerless to help, he suggests she check into a hospital first. Soyeon is left totally stunned. Why is everyone obsessed with hospitals? After saving Nova, she begs for his help before tomorrow's high-stakes council meeting. Lucas plays dumb, his gaze fixed intently on her puffy red eyes. He is reading her like an open book. He bluntly asks if she pulled an all-nighter. Panicking, Soyeon hastily blames it on simple, overwhelming exhaustion. Admitting she sobbed over dreams of her mother is out of the question. She crafts a quick, convenient lie instead. She claims Victor's presence at the meeting has her on edge. Lucas commands her. Posture up, eye contact, total dominance. Soyeon finally confesses her true goal. She wants to absolutely demolish Victor in front of the entire council. He laughs it off as basic. His real lesson, even without proof, stand your ground and never back down. She worries about being rude, but Lucas tells her to just wing it. Despite his advice, her nerves remain fried. The fear of public humiliation haunts her, sending a literal shiver down her spine as she imagines their mocking laughter. Standing before the council, she chants his mantra, chest out, eyes forward, and radiate nothing but pure, unshakable confidence. The emperor demands a status update on construction. Trembling, she confirms it has begun, still haunted by the coup incident. As the room erupts in whispers, she forces a deep breath to keep her composure from shattering under the pressure. With a steady voice, she announces the waterway project was launched under her brother Victor's personal and direct command. Inside, she is a total wreck. The emperor signals her to reveal the discussion topic, hidden beneath her seat. The word welfare stares back at her. This is not a debate, it is just a twisted game for the emperor's amusement. It is a sick competition to see who can satisfy the crown more, her or her brother, like a recreational sport. She refuses to be a court jester or a flatterer. Lucas saw through this long ago. She will not play along. Since the stakes feel fake, she decides to drop the act and finally speak her own unfiltered, blunt truth. Steel in her gaze, she declares the Empire's social facilities are a total and complete embarrassment to the crown. With orphans and the elderly suffering, she plans to pivot the waterway project into a massive, life-changing welfare initiative. The room falls into a stunned, heavy silence. So-yeon does not flinch as she drops the ultimate political bombshell. She will scrap the original plan, repurpose the building, and divert every coin to welfare. Someone immediately screams an objection. A noble cries about the council's dignity, but the emperor silences the room, demanding she finish her bold pitch. He questions the loss of drinking water. She counters instantly, her mind racing to keep up the daring facade. She argues, current rivers are plenty. Better to use the land for the people than for redundant, useless pipes. Her voice is commanding, even though she is mostly making it up. This is high-stakes bluffing at its finest. She guarantees the deadline will be met regardless. Having laid it all out, she is too terrified to look up. Shockingly, Victor is the first to speak, admitting the princess's proposal actually has some merit and potential. The emperor gives the green light, leaving So-yeon frozen in pure, unadulterated shock. Lucas's crazy plan actually worked. Confidence is everything. After the meeting, she slams a lemon soda, feeling the refreshing, fizzy sensation of a total rebirth. The bubbles feel like magic. Ella and Rosalind swarm her with praise, thoughtfully offering extra ice for her drink. She nods, but then a realization hits her like a truck. This world does not even have modern refrigerators. Where did the ice come from? Before she can ask, a maid performs a literal miracle right before her eyes. With a flick of a wrist, magic frost forms a perfect ice cube. So-yeon's jaw nearly hits the floor. Making ice with magic? This world is insane. Ella drops it into her glass with a sweet, knowing smile. So-yeon beams, her gratitude radiating through the room. She has never felt more thankful for a simple cold drink. Her attendants feel their eyes moisten. Their cold, distant princess has finally transformed into someone truly, genuinely kind. But the warmth is a mask. So-yeon knows a traitor is hiding among these three supposedly loyal faces. Maintaining her cool, she asks Ella to fetch her notebook. Ella obeys instantly, her face remaining a perfect mask. Taking the book with a polite nod, So-yeon dismisses the group to find some much-needed, quiet solitude. As her fingers brush the cover, she feels it a heavy, suspicious gaze burning into her back from the shadows. A clumsy spy is lurking nearby. In a low, chilling tone that cuts the air, she calls out Rosalind's name. Rosalind's heart stops. She turns back, desperately trying to look innocent, but the trap has already been set. Behind that calm facade, she knows the mask must fall. Rosalind stands there, her mind a tangled mess of confusion. "What are your orders?" she stammers. So-yeon's expression turns ice cold, her voice dropping into a theatrical, authoritative tone. She demands a full confession of every sin. Rosalind flinches, heart racing, before desperately trying to play it cool. Is she really going to play dumb until the end? So-yeon wonders, but the girl just shakes her head frantically. She swears she has no clue, but So-yeon's gut is screaming. This girl is a spy, there's no doubt about it. But how to break her? So-yeon lets a dark cloud settle over her face, asking Rosalind if things seem off. Rosalind is lost, unable to read the princess's moves. Combs don't have legs, So-yeon whispers, her voice hauntingly low. Yet it vanished from a locked drawer. Her eyes turn sharp. If kindness won't work, maybe a little fear will. She's changed so much recently, trying her best to atone for the past. Every effort was meant to be sincere. She bores holes into Rosalind's soul, asking if it was all for nothing. Embracing her inner villain, she leans in. "I thought sincerity was a two-way street," she scoffs. "Was I just a fool to believe in your loyalty?" Those words shatter Rosalind. "Princess!" she wails, collapsing in a heap and begging for a shred of mercy. She promises never to betray her again. Bingo, the mole is finally caught. So-yeon knew her loyalty was paper thin. That's why she set this trap. Still, sneaking that notebook back without a sound was a pro-level move by Rosalind. This is way harder than any quest in the game, Soyeon sighs. She looks down at the trembling girl, weighing her options. How should she handle this traitor? Rosalind keeps slamming her head on the floor, swearing this was the final betrayal. Soyeon arches a brow. The last time? Rosalind gasps, claiming Prince Victor is 1,000 times more terrifying than her. Soyeon blinks, confused. Rosalind admits she only turned to Victor because Soyeon used to be such a nightmare. But she saw something chilling. Victor, with eyes like ice, muttering that he should have ended him then and there. Soyeon is stunned by his coldness. Was the poisoning his doing too? She demands to know the prince's true role. Rosalind denies it, swearing she was out cold that night. Soyeon's mind races. She needs a plan to flip this script. A brutal execution would ruin Cecilia's new kind ruler image. Then, like a flash of lightning, an idea hits her. It's brilliant. She leans in and offers Rosalind a deal. Become a double agent. Rosalind's jaw hits the floor. Soyeon smirks, her confidence radiating. She steps outside, loudly barking orders to the workers to keep them on track. Safety is everything. The Stardust event helped some, but let's be real, it wasn't enough to fix the kingdom's struggles. Too many people are still drowning in poverty. She can't just walk away if she wants to be a saint. Her stubborn streak nearly derailed things before, but high quality beats a rush job any day of the week. Suddenly, she realizes Lucas has been ghosting her. He told her not to look for him, but it still hurts. She can't stop thinking about him. Clinging to a tiny hope, she starts scouring every corner for a sign of him. She asks around, desperate for news. He was just here, they tell her, but the man is like a shadow. Instead of Lucas, she gets swarmed by fans asking for autographs. Talk about an unexpected side quest for the princess. He's avoiding me because I'm Cecilia, she sighs. She'll have to chase him down later. More pressing problems are calling. Cecilia's messy past won't stay buried. Meanwhile, Ella spots Rosalind looking unusually glowing and starts teasing her immediately. Is there a secret lover? She chirps. Love really suits you. Rosalind's face turns bright red as she stammers a denial. Thinking back to the gift Vivian gave her for her hard work, Rosalind asks, what exactly is this stuff? Vivian reveals it's a rare pearl essence. Rosalind's eyes go wide. It's a luxury item that costs a fortune. It's a skincare miracle, Vivian explains. Soyeon personally made sure Rosalind got the best as a reward for her service. Watching them laugh, Soyeon breathes a sigh of relief. Looks like the double agent secret is safe for now. She cuts through the chatter, reminding them all, if Lucas pops up, they better report it to her instantly. They all salute, but finding that man is like finding a needle in a haystack. Suddenly, Eliana appears out of nowhere. She invites her for tea, acting all sweet. Soyeon asks for the latest tea, and Eliana drops a bombshell. Apparently, Soyeon is trending for all the wrong reasons. How am I the main character of a scandal again? Rumors say you're two-timing, Eliana blabs. Soyeon is floored. Where did this cheating narrative even come from? Was it Victor's doing? But wait, Eliana says the public is actually loving the drama. It's a total hit. People are literally cheering for her. She went from being a fickle villain to the most popular star in town. Once the kingdom's villainous princess, the gossip mills were finally cooling down as the tides turned. Eliana suspects that since the Stardust Fragment incident, her popularity hit an all-time high, flipping the script on her reputation. Haters turned into fans, praising her magnetic charm. Now, everyone's obsessed with the two elite men fighting for her affection. Soyeon is caught between cringe and relief. This massive win was a total blessing that saved her secret master plan. No damage done. Eliana can't help but tease her, calling it a total main character flex to have two suitors. Suddenly, a servant delivers a mysterious letter from Prince Victor. So Yeon freezes, asking for confirmation in utter shock. Is this actually from Victor? The servant nods. But So-yeon's suspicious. Is this a hidden trap? She rips it open, only to find Isabella's handwriting an invitation to their flashy pre-engagement gala. She scoffs at their shameless PDA. The invite claims it's just a small gathering, but knowing that drama queen, it'll be anything but simple. Worst part, it's only 7 days away. It's a race against time. Ella delivers the finished gown, and before she knows it, it's the eve of the party. She finally corners Lucas, demanding to know why he's been ghosting her lately. He's been playing hide-and-seek, so she orders him to freeze, threatening him with a binding spell. But her magic fizzles out. Lucas dryly notes her skills are lacking, but she fires back that she's just starting out. Lucas smirks, claiming he wasn't caught. He simply showed up to fulfill his duty as her handsome fiancé. He's a man of his word, strictly following their contract to the letter. So Yeon checks if his suit is ready. Lucas confirms everything is set. She gives a nonchalant shrug, but her mind is already spinning with a new plan. Realizing they've never shared a dance, she takes charge, insisting that a fiancé's duty includes one ballroom waltz. Bravely, she reaches out for his hand. When he hesitates, she jokes that her arm is starting to ache. Right as she's about to give up, he finally reacts. Lucas takes her hand, accepting the challenge. Time to dance, he softly tells her to stop tensing up, so Yeon's face turns bright red as she panics. Is his top-tier visual an actual weapon? She's too shy to make eye contact, but he commands her to look up. She quickly looks up, and to her surprise, Lucas genuinely praises her improved footwork since the last gala. Deep down, he starts thinking she's a bit quirky, but surprisingly sincere. He realizes he totally misjudged her. Seeing this new side is refreshing, though So-yeon's palms are literally drenched in sweat. Lucas has zero clue how many hours she spent practicing, or the butterflies she feels while being held by him. Plus, no one knows he was actually her favorite husbando from the game. Nervous, she asks if she's better now. His short yes lets her finally exhale in pure relief. She groans about how exhausting dancing is, but Lucas doubles down, telling her she did a great job. This makes her heart soar. He even suggests more frequent practice sessions to sharpen her skills, though he quickly adds that it's strictly per the contract. Internally, he's sounding the alarm, because he's catching real feelings for her. So Yeon pouts, annoyed that he's always building walls between them. She vows to level up and become the most elegant Princess Cecilia the world has ever seen. She'll become so irresistible that Lucas won't be able to resist falling for her. Suddenly, party day arrives. The venue is absolutely jaw-dropping. So Yeon notes that this level of luxury is basically a direct insult to Cecilia's own ceremony. Isabella plays the perfect hostess, thanking the VIP guests for coming. As guests rave about her looks, Isabella smirks, knowing her glow-up was a calculated move. Meanwhile, So-yeon feels a bit goofy in her giant hair bow, despite her maids insisting that Lucas will find it adorable. She highly doubts it the cold. Lucas saying cute? No way. The thought alone makes her giggle. Her friends watch her, amazed by how much love has transformed the princess. Isabella clings to Victor's arm, begging him to announce their big news as soon as possible. Victor tells his darling to chill and wait for the perfect moment after they've finished socializing. Isabella puts on a cute act, claiming she's nervous, but So-yeon is internally gagging at the cringe. As the music starts and the ball officially kicks off, the crowd suddenly erupts into shocked whispers. Everyone is staring! So-yeon is feeling herself and her perfect moves, but Lucas whispers for her to stay focused on him. Ignoring the crowd, So-yeon plays her part, chanting a silent mantra to stay chill. She's killing it. Guests gawk at Lucas's flawless glow. They look like a royal dream. Isabella seethes nearby, fuming as they hijack her spotlight. Her mask is finally slipping. Panic ripples through the room. Fiona hears that grinding jaw and thrives on the drama. Pure pride. Late nights of grueling practice paid off. Failure wasn't an option. She scoffs mentally. Victor better handle his salty fiancé. So Yeon begins comparing the men. Lucas clears Victor easily. Seeing the couple bicker, she logs this mission as a win. A victory lap! So Yeon slaps Lucas's shoulder enthusiastically, hyped by his perfect performance. Oops, too much force. Embarrassment hits as Lucas gives her a tired, knowing look. Princesses don't do that, he sighs. So Yeon stammers an apology, her mind racing. The game's plot is spiraling, but she's still ahead. What's the next move? Suddenly, Victor takes center stage. He's oozing mystery, teasing a massive bombshell for the crowd. As Eldoria's prince, he declares his engagement to the 5th princess of Valeria, Isabella of Valeria. This gala isn't just a party, it's an imperial decree. They're officially betrothed. So Yeon plays it cool, having seen this play coming miles away. Victor's true endgame remains a blur. Meanwhile, Isabella's ego reaches a new peak. Victor is the Empire's golden boy, the ultimate upgrade over that airhead Cecilia. He's powerful and handsome. Isabella toasts him, soaking in the flood of hollow blessings. Pure bliss for her. So Yeon watches the spectacle, whispering, "This feels more like a wedding." She approaches with fake smiles, playing the supportive role while mentally trashing Victor's vibe. Lucas is the real eye candy here. Isabella catches her look, but So-yeon pivots awkwardly. Let her think I'm crushed. Lucas is a literal god compared to these peasants. Chiseled jaw, insane mana. Suddenly Victor's fanboys swarm, reeling from the engagement shock. Victor keeps his composure, pitching this as the ultimate tactical move for the Empire. He admits he needs heavy-hitting allies. He can't conquer the throne solo. Isabella is his chosen weapon. The fangirls are in shambles. He drops a heartfelt oath to the Empire, expertly manipulating his devastated fan base. Cheers erupt again, so Yeon watches with ice in her veins. Isabella's thirst is transparent. As the baby of the family, Kyle has her beat in the succession race. Ruling is a bust. So Empress Consort is the next best power grab. The political chess match begins. Survival depends on rallying the right allies. Victory is possible. She has the cheat codes, but every butterfly effect matters. Changes are inevitable. Lucas whispers that the announcement was practically written in the stars. Isabella is a puppet, but Valeria's military backing is no joke. That's the real threat. Luckily, she has a plan. Lucas stares, shocked she isn't throwing a royal tantrum. No blaming others? Rumors say love changed her. Is the gossip actually true? Does she actually like him? So-yeon rubs her head, feeling the stress mount. She's drained. Palace drama is way too much for a former homebody to handle. No rest for the weary. She needs those points to secure her place. She sashays over to troll them. Quite the show. Wedding bells already? Victor scoffs. His grand event makes her little party look like a joke. Isabella drags Victor away to network. So-yeon glares, noticing Victor's guards tightening up. Security is high. Duke Grayson, that arrogant prick, is watching like a hawk. His smug face is irritating. She'll settle this score with interest very soon. Her feet are killing her. Time to bounce. She signals Lucas to exit. One wrong step sends her tumbling, but Lucas is faster. He catches her instantly, whispering a soft warning to watch her footing. That sudden warmth makes So-young's heart pull a 180. She offers a grateful smile, a sight that completely unnerves the icy, usually stoic Lucas. As she regains her balance, her only relief is that her luxury gown escaped a literal dirt nap. Nervous, she asks if she's slaying the princess role, but then, Aiden's voice cuts through the tension like a blade. He snatches her wrist, panic written all over his face. Lucas's eyes go sub-zero instantly as Aiden throws down the gauntlet. Challenging Lucas, he asks if he's scared he'll hurt her. He makes it clear his sole mission is guarding the princess. And he's well aware of her fiancé. No ulterior motives here. Caught in their tug of war, So-young feels the literal pressure. She lets out a tired sigh, ordering them to back off. Aiden snaps out of it, dropping her hand like it's lava. He drops to one knee, begging forgiveness for his boldness. She soft launches a reassurance. With Lucas around, she's in safe hands. No need to overthink her safety. Aiden's expression goes hollow as he nods. With a grin, she tells him that moving forward, he should only step in for actual emergencies. She tosses him a thanks for your service, and Aiden turns beet red. He retreats like a loyal pup, leaving Lucas drowning in guilt. If Cecilia actually has feelings, he's just a massive red flag. It started as a strictly business marriage pact. Zero vibes, zero chemistry, just two people signing a piece of paper. The rule was simple: catch flights, not feelings. It was all about the bag and mutual leverage, nothing more. He didn't blink when he signed that contract. Even now, his mission remains the same. His goal is non-negotiable. He's getting his sister back, period. Amelia was shipped off to some remote noble house after their family's downfall. Adopted into a strange family, she was lost to him, but Lucas swore on his life they'd find their way back. He'd grind until he could save her. It was a blood oath between siblings. That one word, brother, don't forget to find me, became his lifelong obsession. They prayed for a miracle, but Amelia just vanished. Silence followed her disappearance. Now, seeing Cecilia's hunger for the throne, Lucas sees a golden opportunity. If she wins, he finally finds his sister. But these new feelings for his business partner are seriously messing with his head. He's spiraling. What was supposed to be a simple win-win is now a messy web of real attraction to Cecilia. He's losing his cool. Lucas gives a dark smirk. Catching feelings was his biggest mistake. Meanwhile, So-young's nightmares are on loop. She jolts awake, tears streaming as she clings to her bed. It's a core memory. Eliana asks, what's haunting her sleep? She remembers a patient, a shadow on a hospital bed. Just the thought of them sends her mood into a nosedive. The identity of the patient is a total blank. But before she can explain, Eliana bails, leaving So-young totally confused. Eliana hits her with the "I'm busy" excuse and bolts. So-young is left hanging, feeling pretty annoyed at the sudden exit. I wasn't even done talking, she huffs. She turns around only to find the staff ghosting her too. Sus. Something is definitely being gatekept about Cecilia's past. Her best bet? Keep playing the I have amnesia card to survive. She needs to shake this dread. She tracks down Aiden, venting about how her brain is suddenly buffering with unwanted memories. The fragments are coming back uninvited. Are these the original Cecilia's trauma responses manifesting now? She looks Aiden in the eye. I'm doing this, with or without your help. She grabs his hand. He's her only anchor now. She begs him to help unlock her mind. Aiden sighs, remembering a time when young Cecilia was the life of the party. But when the Empress collapsed, Cecilia withered too. She woke up as a total stranger, cold and detached from the world. Her smile vanished forever. Even the Emperor flipped the script, his grief turning him into a power-hungry tyrant. He became a cold-blooded ruler. So-young is shook, the game's lore definitely didn't mention this dark backstory. Was the sweet Cecilia just a facade? She went digging for clues, but the truth behind her malice is finally clicking. The villain arc finally makes sense. Aiden lets out a breath of relief. He's finally seeing a glimpse of hope in her. She promised to change, and he's buying it. He thinks she's healing, but inside, So-young is absolutely panicking. Why? Because she's a total imposter. The guilt is starting to eat at her, but she plays it cool and comforts him. No more tears, she promises. She catches her own slip-up and pivots back into her main character poker face. When I wear that crown, the suffering ends. Deep down, So-young makes a silent pact with herself. She's owning this role. Forget Cecilia's tragic past. So-young is about to give this story a brand new ending. Time to grind. She doesn't have the full blueprint yet, but she's ready to outsmart everyone in this high-stakes game. Phase 1. Advance the romance plot. Aiden watches her, convinced this Cecilia is the one worth dying for. Aiden's vow of fealty hits So-young right in the feels. She never imagined such profound respect. Patting her chest, she offers him a reassuring look. She tells Aiden to bet on her. Inside, she's celebrating. First gain respect, then steal hearts, one step at a time. Back in her chambers, the mystery of the lethal venom gnaws at her. Where did it even come from? This is beyond rare. Who smuggled the poison in, and how? Could Cecilia have struck some shady underworld deal before her sudden death? She's clueless, just like her own strange transmigration. No answers. Then, she remembers Vivian's insane tracking magic. It was absolutely next level. If she copies that spell, she might sniff out the killer, but she's a total magic noob. Pulling this off won't be easy. Was the bottle just a pretty gift? If she cracks the case of Cecilia's death, she might unlock the secrets of her arrival. She's already braced for a game over here, but her curiosity is literally killing her. She needs to know the truth. As sleep starts to take her, that eerie, genderless voice echoes again. "Are you enjoying this life?" it whispers. Cold sweat drenches So-young. Was that a hallucination? That tone. It definitely knows she's an imposter playing Cecilia's part. She chokes down her terror, gaslighting herself that it's just a side effect of being too lazy lately. Compared to Han Jin-woo's constant nagging, this life is pure bliss. She'll protect this newfound stability with everything she's got. She refuses to let go. Shaking off the cobwebs, she vows to make her survival strategy notes absolutely flawless. Must make it foolproof, she chants like a mantra. She pushes herself to the limit, striving for absolute perfection. She grinds until she finally hits a wall. Felix urgently signals Ella to calm down, demanding to know what happened. A trembling Ella describes trying to get So-young to sleep early, but the sight waiting for her was absolutely traumatizing. So-young is over it. It's just a tiny nosebleed, right? But Ella insists she looked like a literal crime scene. So-young mutters that if she'd worked this hard back home, she would have been the top-ranked student in the entire country. She wonders if that creepy voice was just her mind playing tricks. Felix, meanwhile, gives her a very worried look. He warns her to sleep more. So-young brushes it off with a casual, "I got it," then pivots the conversation. She asks for an urgent status update on the project. Aiden reports everything is going great. They're restocking all the rare materials. Most of the prince's goons have bailed. However, a few are actually asking for a salary, wanting to stay and serve her. She's internally screaming with joy. Are the people finally catching the vibe? But then, Aiden drops a major reality check. The prince's clout is currently tanking. So-young blinks in shock. It looks like that engagement really nuked his reputation. Valeria's support might boost Victor's power, but it totally backfired. His hardcore stans are fuming and feeling betrayed. Even the struggling commoners are shook. Hearing this news, So-young's eyes practically turn into light bulbs. She's ready to hit the streets. Aiden looks hesitant, but she insists the heavy lifting is done. It's time for a trip. She needs to see the vibes outside, check the construction, and gauge how much the public actually loves her now. Plus, she wants some fresh air. Aiden gives in with a sigh, heading off to get everything ready. So-young can barely sit still. This is her first time touching grass in broad daylight since she arrived in this world. They sneak through a hidden courtyard door and slip out unnoticed. So-young figures it's an emergency escape route for royals. Suddenly, Lucas pops into her head. Is this how he always teleports into her room? He must be a regular here. Aiden whispers, checking if she's set. So-young nods like a bobblehead, her heart racing with pure adrenaline. Her eyes sparkle as she compliments his outfit. Aiden's cold exterior melts into a rare, genuine smile. He warns her the city is crawling with snitches. Stay close or get lost, he mutters. So-young huffs, totally annoyed. She grumbles about being treated like a toddler. Nearby, some locals are spilling major tea about the prince's marriage. Someone quickly corrects them. It's just an engagement. They suspect he's just thirsty for Valeria's military might. One guy keeps it real, he only supports whoever puts food on the table. So-young realizes they're near her sight. Everyone is obsessed with the drama between her and the prince. She's officially the main character of the gossip mill. Team So-young is winning. People dig her humble energy compared to the prince's flashy, performative engagement. His power-hungry vibe is a total turnoff, but not everyone is a fan. Some still call her Stardust Plan, pure idiocy. So-young's blood boils. She spent literal hours grinding on that plan. How dare they call it foolish? To take the throne, She needs the majority vote. Emperors, nobles, commoners, everyone's opinion counts in this game. That's the core of the story. Distinct classes exist, but public opinion is the ultimate weapon for survival. If the commoners are split, she can flip the script. It's time to master the art of public manipulation. Just like the mundane world, yet a voice chimes in, finding it surprisingly intriguing. Honestly, who'd ever imagine? Igniting stardust fragments in the sky, he swapped those shards for toys for his little girl and secured 2 months of supplies. He's stunned. A royal who actually gives a damn about peasants is a 1 in a million find in this crowd. Team Cecilia faces off against Team Victor. Soyeon wonders if the vibe is always this chaotic. Aiden notes it's peak market day, which explains the massive surge of people. The glittering stalls leave her breathless, her eyes sparkling with pure, unadulterated awe. She gasps at the beauty, seeking Aiden's take. Without missing a beat, Aiden demands the price, and the vendor names it. The merchant teases that since Aiden's so handsome, this must be his girlfriend. Aiden's hands blur as he frantically denies everything. A deep crimson stain creeps onto his cheeks. Flustered, Soyeon stammers that she wasn't actually fishing for a gift. Aiden turns dead serious. If Soyeon calls it beautiful, he's buying it. Period. Soyeon can only sigh at his stubbornness, so she gift wraps a souvenir for him instead. Handing it over, she commands him to wear it for the entire trip. Aiden starts snatching up everything she even glances at. Soyeon panics, begging him to stop blowing his entire paycheck. He won't budge. If she likes it, he gets it. Soyeon's suspicious now. Is this guy secretly loaded or what? He's usually so frugal. Driven by curiosity, she grills him on his monthly take-home pay as a royal guard. Aiden admits he pulls in over 100 stardust fragments. Soyeon's jaw practically hits the floor in pure shock. Those stardust shards she blew up? Yeah, that wasn't pocket change. That astronomical sum she wasted was literally 100 months of Aiden's hard-earned salary. She's genuinely impressed. Aiden's a legend, and she's lucky to have him. Best guard ever. Seriously. Staring at the massive pile of loot, she nervously asks if they went a bit overboard. Ignoring her, Aiden just mumbles about how perfect these items look on her while continuing his chaotic shopping spree. He's more hyped than she is, refusing any help and carrying the whole haul alone. Stepping beyond the palace walls finally, and catching the fresh wind, Soyeon's mood skyrockets. Then, Aiden drops a heavy question. Does she recognize this spot? Soyeon keeps it real. She's got zero memory of it. Makes sense, since this is her first outing in this body. She gives Aiden a heartfelt thanks for being there. He's baffled, but she claims she's just grateful for the memories, though a flicker of guilt stings her heart. Just as they turn to go, a calloused hand violently snatches Soyeon's arm. Heart racing, Soyeon snaps at the stranger to unhand her. The thug sneers, demanding she surrender every single piece of jewelry. Boom! Aiden moves like a blur, pinning the attacker in a heartbeat. With eyes like daggers, he barks, "Who sent you?" The thug freezes, his tongue tied by terror. Aiden's rage boils over. He cranks up the pressure, crushing the man's resolve. He demands answers again. Sensing the lethal tension, Soyeon jumps in, terrified Aiden might actually snap the guy's neck. According to the lore, Aiden goes berserk when Cecilia's in trouble, but she can't watch this. Suddenly, a memory flashes. It's the same dude who called the princess interesting back at the eatery. Soyeon's confused. He has a job, so why resort to mugging? The man just scoffs at their privilege and fancy clothes. He claims they've got no clue about the struggle of the working class. Then comes the blackmail. Release me, or I'll leak your secret romance. She didn't expect such audacity. He wasn't even planning to get violent. Soyeon feels a wave of uncertainty hitting her. If the royal guards show up, her secret date with Aiden is toast. Everything will be blown wide open. Forget the dating rumors, her true identity is at stake. Soyeon switches tactics, gently asking for the man's name. Back at the palace, a frantic guard checks on the emperor. A strained voice echoes from behind the heavy doors, claiming he's fine while collapsing onto a couch. Sickness has ravaged him, leaving the crown looking tarnished and heavy. He refuses to wither away. With so many dark goals left to reach, he can barely even steady his own cane. Matthews watches, his voice laced with pity for those trembling, pained hands. The emperor croaks out a desperate call for him. Sensing the urgency, Matthews asks if it's time to move the deadline. The emperor gives the cold, hard green light. Find the right tools, he orders. A murderous spark ignites in his eyes. Anyone in his way is catching a death sentence. Even his own flesh and blood. Zero mercy. Meanwhile, Aiden is spiraling, unable to fathom why Soyeon would trust a thug. She sees the big picture. If she can flip one more person to her side, his potential betrayal is a risk worth taking. Aiden is floored by her resolve. Cecilia is making moves the old her would have never even dreamed of. Soyeon just flashes a playful grin and brushes it off. She pivots back to the man, pressing for his name once more. He looks lost for words, so Soyeon cuts through his hesitation. "Call me Clara," she says, offering a fake identity first. After a tense beat, Thomas finally caves. Soyeon immediately pivots to the real agenda. She exposes the Empire's rotting core, dismantling the reason behind his pathetic struggle. She forces him to confront the architect of his misery. Why repeat a tragic cycle? Think back to that festival. Whose side offers the ultimate victory? Blowing up stardust won't fix a broken society, but her policies? Far superior to the Emperor's. She's got the cheat codes. Every move, every plot, it is all in her head. "Gather your men," she commands. "Find me later at the palace under the name Clara." Aiden's internal alarms go off. He smells a rat, but Soyeon couldn't care less. In her world, everyone is just a pawn, Aiden included. Boom! Mission accomplished. Bagging Thomas was an absolute pro-gamer move. No fireworks today, but she's replaying her lines like a main character on loop. The smug energy is off the charts. God, she really is that girl. She shakes off the cringe and tells Aiden she is vibing on pure achievement. With a smile, she dismisses him. Aiden, he is currently malfunctioning from that head pat. This incognito side quest was perfect for her secret spy network. 2 birds, 1 stone. In the original lore, he joined way later. She just flipped the script. He is locked in. Disobedience isn't even an option at this point. She tosses him a fat purse. Aiden handles the rest. Time skips forward. Princess life is a grind, but she is adapted. Victor? She is ghosting him and his engagement. Networking with nobles is light work. Tea parties are just high-stakes social climbing. Victor is stuck babysitting the youngest princess, totally paralyzed. She locks in regular dates with Lucas, farming both affection points and top-tier intel. Lucas is giving Major Vivian energy. Is Mysterious Mage just a standard character archetype? Grinding magic levels is exhausting. Advanced Stardust spells are still a total pipe dream. Looking for a shortcut, she tries to chat. Lucas hits her with the mute button. She complains about Victor being missing in action. Is he actually busy, or just boring? Lucas is blunt. That is a win for you. She calls it a snooze fest. If you are bored, fight your knight, he retorts. She is too classy for secret brawls. His verbal daggers are annoying. If the nobles find out they are fake, it is game over. Lucas is acting distant, blowing their cover. He insists his poker face is flawless. His tone is basically calling her a low-level player who cannot read the room. What if the plan flops? She asks. Lucas just flexes his perfect track record. Okay, he has never missed. But where is the newly engaged chemistry they need? The party ended, but he is still keeping her at arm's length. It is confusing. The aristocrats cannot suspect a contract. She needs to break his defenses. Fast. Lucas watches her closely. Is this just business, or is she actually falling for him? Step 1. Seduce Lucas. Step 2. Conquer the throne. It is the ultimate master plan. She needs to outflex Victor's romance. Her ego won't settle for second place. Lucas repeats the terms. No interference after the wedding. Strict boundaries only. No budging. She's internally screaming this character is a literal brick wall. She knows the plot, but Lucas hasn't read the script. Progress is currently 0. The no-touching rule is trash. What kind of romance novel is this? She wants to be clingy, but her royal pride says no. The struggle is real. Finally, she drops a compromise. A 1-month trial of acting like total lovebirds. Even when alone, they must play the part. You know, because of spies. Getting caught would be a total game over. Seeing Lucas waver, Soyeon dangles a tempting bait. Fewer awkward meetings. Internally, she's smirking. It's a complete scam. She plans on haunting his every waking moment from now on. She seethes, blaming that cursed contract clause for her slow progress. Finally, Lucas caves. But he's got one major condition. Soyeon's hyped, dying to know his terms. But the moment he bans kissing, she turns into a literal statue. She panics, frantically explaining that intimate just meant hand-holding, soft head pats, and the occasional hug, just basic PG vibes. A confused Lucas asks what a schooler even is. Soyeon snaps back, claiming she hates romance anyway. She swears she won't cross the line. Hugs and hand-holding are the absolute ceiling for her physical contact. Flustered and fuming, Lucas barks at her to get out immediately. Soyeon desperately tries to squeeze in one last word, but she's kicked out cold. Now, Soyeon's stressing Lucas is definitely going to rewrite that contract, right? The Emperor senses their clock ticking. His fragile body is failing, kept alive solely by his ironclad will and obsession. Despite his porcelain frame, he survives. He lacks brawn, but his god-tier magic and razor-sharp intellect are unmatched. His lust for power spirals. Even fueled by forbidden potions, he seethes that the brewing process is painfully slow. He's desperate for a shortcut, chanting Cecilia and Victor's names. He commands Matthews to shadow every move those kids make. Victor is in absolute hell. Dress shopping with Isabella is straight-up torture. She demands his honest opinion on every outfit. Shrugging won't work here. Isabella insists he crown one specific dress as the absolute fairest of them all. She's rushing him to return to the palace. Swallowing his annoyance, Victor points to the right-hand dress and smiles. Isabella beams and buys it instantly. Meanwhile, Victor's skin crawls. His Oscar-worthy acting is the only thing saving him. He's a pro at hiding his rage. This is their third trip, 5 grueling hours wasted in this boutique. Despite every dress looking identical, Isabella is paralyzed by choice, drowning in a sea of endless silk. Victor's screaming inside. Does she have infinite stamina? Luckily, she's shipping back to Valeria in 60 minutes. She finally picks the first dress he suggested hours ago. 5 hours of his life gone for absolutely nothing. They agree to prep for the engagement solo and reunite only when it's time to say, I do. Victor plays the doting lover, promising frequent letters. But Isabella isn't satisfied with just ink on paper. To her, paper is trash compared to FaceTime. Her drama pushes Victor to the brink, forcing him to fake study magic. Even on an empty stomach, he insists on walking her out, pretending he can't stand to be apart. He claims he's heartbroken, leaving Isabella touched. In reality, Victor is just celebrating his sweet, sweet freedom. As Valeria's lowest-ranking 5th princess, Isabella's only way up the social ladder is through this strategic engagement. For Victor, she's the muscle he needs to crush Cecilia. This wedding is non-negotiable. Finally, he sends her packing. Pure exhaustion washes over him. Isabella is annoying, but being trapped by a lack of choices is even worse. Out of all the Valeria princesses, only Isabella made a move, desperate to claw her way out of obscurity. She literally pleaded for this engagement. While her sisters are passive, Isabella has enough guts to chase power. His reputation is in the gutter now, but the Valeria Empire's support is a game-changer he can't ignore. Cecilia might have the noble Lucas, but he's a mere fly compared to the sheer might of Valeria. With Valeria's backing, the throne is within reach, but Isabella's constant yapping is giving him a massive migraine. He needs to shut her up. Meanwhile, Eliana spills the tea to Soyeon about Victor's nightmare with his fiancé. She almost feels bad for the guy, almost. Honestly, watching him squirm in frustration is way more entertaining. Victor tried to play dirty with her guards, so now she's going to settle the score with royal dignity. Revenge won't be petty. She's aiming high, deciding to take down Victor's main backbone, Duke Grayson, first. Grayson is Victor's partner in crime. Crushing him sends a message. Eliana notes Grayson is Victor's only real, noble support. His ties with Count Andre are mid at best, making Soyeon feel like she's winning the long game. Her loyal fanbase clears Victor's fake allies any day. She's deep in her villain arc when Eliana snaps her back. Eliana catches her zoning out and gets worried. This version of Cecilia is acting totally out of character. Soyeon feels like a fraud, she's no genius. But suddenly, Eliana's tone shifts, catching her off guard. She looks relieved, claiming Cecilia is okay. Soyeon just blinks, having zero clue what her maid actually means. Eliana says her face finally looks alive. Now, Soyeon's curious, was the original Cecilia really that much of a buzzkill? Eliana nods, admitting the Emperor's cruelty turned her life into a gloomy shadow. She asks for the timeline. Eliana remembers it was before the Starlight Festival. Soyeon freezes. That was way before she transmigrated. Was the Emperor the true poisoner? She suspected both him and Victor, but Victor is too spineless. Eliana is gripped by anxiety, fearing her father's return won't satisfy the Emperor's ruthless demands. Soyeon realizes Eliana carries the heavy weight of the House of Montfort and its high-stakes mission. Their goal? Aggressive food trade negotiations. Soyeon sees this as the ultimate chance to recruit allies. She immediately plans a tea party for noble ladies. Eliana is stunned and absolutely thrilled. This is Soyeon finally taking charge after ages. She schedules the event for this very week. She'll charm the elites and screen for support. She doesn't care if she looks like a villainess. As long as she wins, she lets Eliana and Rosalind choose whatever tea they want to serve. The secret weapon? Premium desserts. They are crucial for winning over the ladies, Ella says confidently. If Darian handles the sweets, they're set. Soyeon is shocked. Darian is a god in the dessert world. She's read his legendary cookbooks. His masterpieces are strictly reserved for the palace elites alone. She never expected Ella to know him. Ella explains they're actually close and he'll definitely help. Soyeon is delighted and hands all dessert prep to Ella. This is a massive win for the party. The tea party's success is guaranteed. Ella beams, ready for stage 1 of making Victor suffer. The gathering for her fans is an absolute triumph. Though small, the quality is truly exceptional. Ella's network is insane. She brings in the legendary Darian, serving delicacies straight from his cookbooks. The apple pie melts in their mouths, making every guest exclaim in pure delight. Best food ever, they gasp. Soyeon secretly targets her first victim, Duke Grayson. That man is Victor's puppet and must go. Soyeon takes a bite and is stunned it's delicious. Ella and Darian smile at their success. As the atmosphere peaks, Soyeon finally stands up. She solemnly thanks everyone and highlights her focus. Slowly, she reveals her standards for an emperor. A ruler should be a moral compass, protecting the people's welfare above all else. This is her non-negotiable baseline. Arrogant leaders who ignore others will ultimately face total destruction. Do you agree? She asks firmly. Soyeon declares that she is perfectly qualified for the throne. She sincerely asks for their love and support, requesting they stand by her more firmly than ever. She powerfully declares her bid for the crown, crushing rumors that she's giving up her right. She refutes the gossip head-on. She hopes for unconditional support from those who choose her side. She understands their hesitation and lets them choose to stay, but she believes in her true supporters. Her heart stirs. It's like a top-tier idol suddenly announcing a run for the presidency. No need to answer now, she says, giving everyone plenty of time to weigh their options. Lady Diana speaks first, swearing she has always only loved the princess. She is all in. She'll give her all to help. Looking at Diana's sincere face, warmth floods Soyeon's heart. Two more fans speak up, their loyalty to the princess burning like an unquenchable flame. They swear to support her, but by the end, only 4 loyal people remain. Ella is worried as the crowd leaves, but Soyeon doesn't mind. She understands their fear. 4 countess daughters stay loyal. They lack Grayson's status, but their devotion moves her deeply. She thanks them with all her heart. The revenge plan against Victor enters stage 2. Lucas heads to the border on Cecilia's orders. He waits for the Montfort delivery as instructed. Cecilia had reminded him to just receive the goods. Felix is confused by the wait in this desolate place. Lucas explains a merchant group is coming. He still finds it baffling. Just as he grows restless, movement appears in the distance. It's the very person Cecilia mentioned, the one who can finally balance Duke Grayson's power. The stranger recognizes Lucas first, excitedly shouting that Lucas once saved his daughter's life. He confesses a deep debt of gratitude for her mercy, though every attempt to settle the score was flatly rejected. Lucas brushes it off with a cool shrug. He pivots, revealing the high-stakes cargo the princess secretly entrusted to him. As the carriage rolls, he pushes for a permanent trade alliance, urging him to report the full truth to the emperor. The sheer scale of the goods leaves them absolutely shook. From the shadows, Felix watches the exchange with a piercing gaze. He's dying to know their secret play. Finally, the fateful day arrives. The Montfort merchant group marches into the palace. Inside, Soyeon's nerves are on edge. She can only hope Lucas and Felix are holding it down in the Great Hall. The court holds its breath for the results. The emperor speaks, making it clear he values cold results over excuses. His icy stare locks onto Duke Montfort, demanding an immediate report. The Duke bows, stepping forward with total composure. He announces a massive win, a permanent trade route with the North, securing a legendary supply of Stardust fragments. The entire hall erupts. Stardust fragments are so rare, even the Eldoria Empire struggles to keep them in stock. A permanent supply is a total game changer. Mages simply can't produce enough during the Magic Stone's dead zones. The Emperor leans in, demanding to know the trick. The Duke knows exactly how revolutionary this discovery truly is. He explains that Stardust fragments used to be single-use junk. He then reveals a small, mysterious, ornate box. This device allows Stardust to be recycled and reused indefinitely. He publicly reveals this miracle to the stunned crowd. And the creator? Princess Cecilia. The name drops like a bomb, and every head turns toward a smug Soyeon. This is the ultimate power move. Montfort is officially on her side. A sharp, confident smile curves her lips. Watch your back, Victor, she thinks. The real show starts now. Yet, whispers of doubt still ripple through the room. The shock is overwhelming. No one can believe Cecilia built this marvel. A dark, twisted rumor begins to circulate. Someone mutters about forbidden magic, but the accusation is silenced before it can spark a full-blown scandal. Soyeon's heart is racing with mixed emotions. Despite this massive flex, being the center of attention still feels surreal. The Emperor, silent and menacing until now, finally speaks her name. He orders Cecilia. She begins explaining with absolute composure. This stabilizing fluid has zero connection to magic, let alone the forbidden kind. It's crafted entirely from organic substances birthed by the natural world itself. In the world of Please Be the Princess, mechanics are simple. This is just a happy accident, Soyeon declares. She teases that the base ingredient is common knowledge, dragging out the suspense. Their bewildered expressions are priceless. Internally, she's flexing that main character energy. She doubles down, no spells used, just pure biological matter found nearby. She states bluntly that every ounce of Stardust fragment should be pushed to its absolute limit. Leaving them to rot is a sin. Worn-out fragments are basically just expensive fire starters. In a crisis, their no storage needed trait makes their value skyrocket. Her voice shifts as she drops the bomb. Witness the miracle fluid that breathes life back into stardust. The crowd's desperation is palpable. Everyone is dying to know the secret. When she reveals its monster fluid, the entire hall stops breathing. She explains that a low-temperature soak in this fluid is the key to full restoration. Even fragments that melted from overuse or went dormant can absorb this energy and revive. She recalls a moment in Lucas's lab, casually leaving Vivian's fragments near monster remains. The fragments multiplied as if they were regenerating. After triple checking, she knew it wasn't a fluke. This win belongs to Lucas and Vivian too. Suddenly a voice shouts, "Wait, does this mean infinite stardust?" So Yon shuts that down. It's not forever. The fluid's energy has a hard cap. Proper nutrition can stretch its life. But 3 rounds is the sweet spot. The data is rock solid. The room erupts into a frenzy. Thunderous applause follows as everyone hails the princess as a total genius. Investors immediately start scrambling to fund the Montford Merchant Group. The cheers are literally deafening. Shouts of "Long live the princess" shake the walls. So Yon smirks, everything is going exactly to plan. She clowns on Victor in her head. He must be sweating. She almost loses it, but Lucas warns her to manage her face. She can't slip up now. Swallowing her laughter, So Yon reminds herself to maintain her royal dignity. The emperor signals for silence, commending her for this legendary feat. So Yon responds with a graceful bow. But then, the emperor asks about the shortage. Simple, we just need to mass-produce both fluid and fragments. To bridge the gap, she suggests a collab between alchemists and mages. The emperor gives the green light. So Yon seizes the moment, proposing a nationwide collection of fragments to calculate the surplus efficiently. She warns that delaying the collection would hurt exports, a risk they absolutely can't take. After all, the real play is swapping those fragments for rare minerals to forge elite weaponry. She's already inked a deal with Duke Montford. The emperor watches, realizing his daughter is becoming a powerhouse. Impressed by her growth, he makes a snap decision. The princess is now officially in charge. So Yon is screaming with joy inside. Finally, she has the power, even if she'll be under a microscope. The nobility whispers in shock. Some are green with envy that she's been handed such massive responsibility. Others cast worried glances at the prince. Meanwhile, Victor is spiraling, unable to figure out how she pulled this off. Soon, Cecilia's name will be legendary across the empire. Duke Montford bows out, his work here done. Now it's Duke Grayson's turn. He clears his throat to present the military results, but the room is buzzing. Everyone is still obsessed with Cecilia's Stardust plan, completely ghosting the poor Duke's report. He awkwardly rushes through his speech, cold sweat pouring down his face as he's ignored. So Yon catches Victor's dark expression and her stomach drops. She forgot what a monster he actually is. His sheer ruthlessness sends a shiver down her spine. When he's enraged, he targets low-ranking, mute maids. He subjects them to brutal beatings in the dark. Sometimes, he silences them permanently, just to be safe. The thought of his body count makes her regret not bracing herself sooner for this darkness. She hates herself. Even with the script in hand, she's just a spectator to his madness. She'll face judgment, but the throne is her only survival. Without it, her life pops like a bubble. If she fails, everyone she loves gets dragged down with her. Lucas notices her emotional turbulence. He teases her for being a mess of emotions. She forces a smile. Is her performance really that obvious? Lucas drops a truth bomb. The real struggle is just heating up. He wonders if she's planning a deadlier move to finally crush the prince. So Yon plays it straight, she's out for Victor's blood. But she knows mass-producing Stardust isn't a quick flex. It takes serious time. No room for slip-ups. She's prepping every detail now because a brutal, relentless winter is about to lock them all in. "You're scary serious today," Lucas notes. So Yon snaps back, questioning if she was ever anything else. He just shrugs, claiming she usually grins like a hollow shell. Talk about a reality check. So Yon is shook that she appears so soulless, but she quickly shakes the thought off before it spirals. That main character energy is still strong. A confident smirk plays on her lips as she prepares to crush every hurdle in her way. Time to visit Duke Montford. The man literally hits the floor in gratitude, but So Yon quickly tells him to stand up and keep his dignity. The Duke insists he'd be nothing without her. Looking at him, So Yon remembers the day she confessed her true, ultimate endgame to him. This path is destined to be jagged with thorns. Even his daughter, Isabella, notices the shadows of worry haunting So Yon lately. He feared the pressure was breaking her, but seeing her fire and vitality in person, all his doubts vanish instantly. So Yon wonders if she really radiated such gloom. Was the mask of palace life finally starting to crack? Clearly, royal life has been a nightmare. She flashes a charming smile, requesting the Duke's help to clear the obstacles from her path. "Your wish is my command," he vows instantly. Still, So Yon remembers Cecilia's frequent visits. Can she really trust him not to snake her? Tick-tock. As time blurs, So-yeon's magical growth starts hitting different. It's becoming impossible for anyone to ignore. Objects levitate at her whim, and she can even write with pure mana. This isn't luck. It's the result of a grueling, repetitive grind. She found the secret sauce. Channeled emotion doubles the power. She wonders if fueling her spells with pure hatred for Victor would make her invincible. Am I ready to level up? She asks Vivian, hoping she's finally cleared the telekinesis hurdle. Vivian sees the spark. It's time for characteristic magic. So-yeon is skeptical, but the master explains that everyone has a unique magical DNA. This isn't just moving things. It's about soul-deep concentration. Your power becomes a direct mirror of your personality and heart. It's custom-tailored to the individual. Vivian drops some lore to explain how these traits vary from person to person. Take Lucas, his element is fire, a total plot twist considering his icy personality. So-yeon feels blessed to have such a cracked squad. She starts daydreaming about the possibilities. Imagine having command over fire, water, or ice. Total overpowered energy, right? Try them one by one, Vivian suggests. Find the element that actually speaks to your soul. Panic mode on. Does she have to repeat those basic tests again? Vivian just grins, confirming the tutorial nightmare isn't over. The goal? Use that telekinesis flow to find her true match. She comforts her with a win. There are 0 bugs in this test. So-yeon is screaming internally. When does this hellish basic course end? She's more than ready to move past the tutorial levels. But then, she remembers she's already mastered telekinesis. Confidence restored. She's going to ace this. She can't help but spy on Aiden and Pink Fluffy's wholesome vibes. Turns out, that little pig was literally birthed from his own hair. No wonder they're inseparable. Vivian barks a reminder, snapping So-yeon back to the magical grind before she gets distracted. Meanwhile, the welfare project is hitting its final phase. It's all about scaling up those stardust fragments for the people. She's juggling extreme magic training with political moves, even distributing test samples to the high-ranking nobility. It's working. Even Victor's loyalists are starting to show goodwill, a major win for So-yeon's growing influence. She's used her Tea Party fans to recruit mages and alchemists. But she's staying sharp. Victor definitely has an ace up his sleeve. His military flex is still the biggest threat. In this Game of Thrones, raw force is usually the only bargaining chip that matters. She needs to wrap this up before the first frost. Lucas just groans, claiming she's only talking big because she's not the one doing the work. Extracting monster fluid is a total nightmare. The process is messy, complex, and honestly, a massive drag. One wrong move and it merges with forbidden magic. It has to be handled with perfect mana control and a dash of stardust. So-yeon offers to handle it herself, but Lucas just teases her. Didn't she have a massive phobia of bugs? I don't fear them, I just hate them, she insists. Monsters are different. Even the insect-looking ones won't make her flinch. The thought of her citizens surviving a warm winter fuels her fire. She's locked in and motivated to finish. Fire magic ends in a total fail, though. What's my actual specialty then? She asks, feeling completely defeated. Lucas, being a total savage, says her best magic would be disappearing quietly. Suddenly, Nova appears out of thin air. Even Lucas's spirit familiar is vibing with her. It signals for her to follow, and So-yeon, intrigued, steps out into the unknown. As she steps outside, her breath catches. The view before her is absolutely legendary and breathtaking. This was the goal all along. Lucas watches her, finally realizing So-yeon has the true soul of a mage. Gazing at the breathtaking horizon, So-yeon's mind drifts to nostalgic nights spent stargazing with her old friends. Lucas questions her past connections. Sensing her slip-up, So-yeon forces a nervous laugh to break the tension. Snatched from her chaotic schedule, So-yeon finally pushes her anxieties aside to savor this rare, tranquil escape. She's haunted by her transmigration. Why here? And what was the deal with that mysterious voice from her past? Lucas presses her. Why the throne? Their initial contract never hinted at such a burning, hidden spark of ambition. What fueled this sudden, desperate drive for power? Caught off guard, So-yeon struggles to find the right words. Could she confess she's an interloper in Cecilia's body? Instead, she vaguely claims she simply has her own reasons, missions she must fulfill. Living as Cecilia, she's determined to steer this girl's tragic fate back onto the rails. She vows to unveil everything once she ascends. Despite his bewilderment, Lucas finds himself drawn to her unwavering resolve. His sister remains a ghost, yet So-yeon's simple words ground Lucas in a reality he's never truly felt. As she turns to leave, Lucas suddenly seizes her hand, pleading for just one more moment of her time. Panic surges as Lucas realizes he's touching her. His face erupts in a crimson blush as he recoils instantly. Mid-awkward silence, a brilliant shooting star carves through the darkness. So-yeon's eyes light up with pure joy. She prays fervently with folded hands. Lucas watches, baffled. Then it hits her. This world doesn't know about wishes. Scrambling for an explanation, she notices the star fading. There's no time to talk, only time to hope. Wish first, talk later. She prays for the crown, choosing this grueling path over returning to her old life. Suddenly, she realizes she forgot Lucas. Panicked, she quickly adds a prayer to successfully capture his icy heart. Driven to ace the main plot, she greedily dreams of charming Aiden too. Completionist mode, activated. Then, she spots Lucas actually smiling. Her heart does a violent somersault, catching her completely off guard. Wait, the cold Duke can smile? So Yun's mood shifts instantly. He must be making fun of her prayer. She was dead serious, yet he's smirking? Lucas tries to deny it, but her annoyance is already peaking. Done with this, she storms off, ignoring his calls as she disappears into the night without looking back. She arrived in the sweltering summer heat. Now, autumn breezes sweep in, finally chasing away the lingering seasonal warmth. Her welfare vision is finally becoming a reality. So Yun offers her heartfelt gratitude to the hardworking team. Ella shrugs off the praise, but So-yeon stuns them by instantly announcing a massive, well-deserved pay raise. Their eyes sparkle with shock. Stardust profits are booming, and she's determined to share the massive wealth. They're the backbone of her success. Overwhelmed, they bow deeply, chanting praises for their generous, visionary princess. She quickly calms her overexcited staff, but the festive mood shifts instantly as Aiden's shadow looms nearby. Aiden looks tense, signaling urgent news. Sensing the gravity, So-yeon immediately clears the room to hear him. Is it the project? Aiden confirms the progress. 80% done. Their ambitious goal is finally within reach. The Montfort Group's backing kept the supply chain flawless. Hearing this, a wave of pure satisfaction washes over her. Then he brings up that former thief. Somehow, she's silenced his spite. The man no longer breathes slanders. It's Thomas. She recalls their tense encounter outside the palace. Her words clearly left a lasting, profound impact. Next up, Victor's engagement. Intel suggests a grand winter ceremony or perhaps an early spring celebration is looming. The Valeria Empire is ready. This means Isabella will be haunting the palace halls constantly from now on. The thought of frequent run-ins with them is beyond irritating. Frustrated, her eyes drift over to a quiet Aiden. Why is he hiding his face? Curiosity burns within her, forcing her to demand the truth behind his behavior. Aiden fumbles his words. He can't exactly confess that being alone with her makes his heart race uncontrollably. She's not buying it. Is he hurt? Bullied? Panic sets in as she lunges forward to inspect him. Before he can retreat, she's already there, reaching out to pry his hands away from his hidden face. She's met with a face so crimson he looks feverish. So Yeon's nerves skyrocket. Is he actually sick? As she reaches for his forehead, her foot betrays her. A sharp snap echoes as she twists her ankle. Gravity takes over. She plunges forward, landing squarely in Aiden's arms. Panicked, he desperately tries to steady her. He gently recoils, his pulse thundering in his ears. Breathless, he manages to choke out a concerned inquiry. A realization strikes. Has Aiden fallen for her? Stunned by the pacing, she frantically recalls the original game's plot. Aiden's confession totally wrecked the timeline, throwing Yeon into a chaotic emotional tailspin. Honestly, she vibes with both. Lucas is the endgame MC, and her literal fiancé, after all. Sticking with him secures the throne and unlocks premium content. Her solution? Why choose? Let's go polyandry. Is a multi-husband system even allowed here? She's got to check the world's rules as soon as possible. Out of nowhere, Aiden clocks himself. So-yeon panics, grabbing his hands to stop the self-sabotage. Aiden fights back tears, desperate to keep his cool, but his raw sincerity is totally melting her. Giving up either man is a hard pass. Her eyes sharpen. She's making this harem dream a reality. A sudden knock breaks the tension. It's Duke Montfort. So-yeon masks her drama and welcomes him in. The Duke bows respectfully, but his jaw drops when he spots Aiden mid-sob, super awkward. Thinking he's a third wheel, the Duke bolts. So-yeon stops him instantly, her voice dripping with urgency. She swears it's not what it looks like. He pivots to business, bringing up the Stardust fragments. These fragments are trade gold, but with winter approaching, the market demand is about to explode. So-yeon's stunned. The Duke explains that surging mineral costs are driving this insane, impossible demand. Despite the pressure, So-yeon vows to fix it in 3 days. The Duke is shook by her confidence. He hails her as the legendary creator of the Stardust box. To him, the princess is a literal saint. He trusts her word and heads out, but not before giving Aiden a very pointed look. "Go get her, champ!" he yells. Aiden just cringes, knowing the Duke totally misread the room. So-yeon face palms. Aiden's crying just created a massive, messy misunderstanding that she now has to carry. Romance can wait. She needs to lock in and focus on her magical leveling up. It's grind time. Mastering her unique magic is the only way to forge those monster-suppressing boxes. She's been slacking, leaving Vivian to carry the load, but she refuses to be a burden anymore. This is her mess to fix. Determined, Soyeon demands Vivian start a high-stakes training session right now. Vivian warns her that awakening powers under pressure is a long shot, but Soyeon doesn't care. With a look of pure steel, she dares Vivian to attack. Vivian is low-key impressed by her grit. This isn't the old Cecilia at all. As mud hits her, Soyeon tanks the hit without flinching. Nothing happens. No mana, no spark. Vivian asks if she's done, but Soyeon grinds back to her feet. Again, she barks, only to get slammed back into the dirt 2 more times. Earth magic is a bust. Next up, fire. Soyeon feels a chill of genuine fear at the thought. The fire burns like crazy. She screams as the heat sears her skin, while Vivian sighs, "I told you so." Vivian begs her to take a break, but despite the agonizing pain, Soyeon's resolve refuses to break. She grinds her teeth, pushing for one more try. Vivian relents, and Soyeon raises her hands to block. Eyes clenched shut, she braces for impact. But instead of heat, a refreshing surge of water erupts. "She's a water mage! I did it!" she screams, while even Vivian can't hide her genuine shock. After all that pain, the breakthrough finally happened. Vivian breathes a sigh of relief as Soyeon beams. She's a literal prodigy. Meanwhile, across the city, Victor is busy buying the public's loyalty with bribes. The crowd roars as he showers them with luxury, but Victor's mind is swirling with dark suspicions. Cecilia's acting weird. The girl who hated politics is suddenly playing the game like a pro. Time for a counter-strategy. He's bet 10 carts of treasure that he'll win back the people's hearts. Over in Valeria, Isabella dispatches her own massive caravan, claiming she's just a lovesick fiancé. It's all a facade. She fakes tears of longing for her man with Oscar-worthy performance skills. Her minions promise a huge ROI, but Isabella just sighs at the steep price of this deception. The prince is a useful gold mine. His lifestyle is way more lavish than her own humble quarters. He's easy on the eyes, which is a relief. Isabella literally shudders at the thought of dating anyone mid. The maid smirks at her mistress's hidden ruthlessness. Victor fell for the engagement trap hook, line, and sinker. Everything is going to plan. The only problem? Victor's annoying sister is being a total buzzkill. That arrogant brat keeps blocking her. She even shot her bird as a warning. It failed. Isabella's plan? Marry him, make him prince, then end him. Once he's king, she'll usurp the throne and cast him into the abyss. Eldoria will be hers alone. No more weak baby sister. That's her endgame. Soyeon secures the Duke's loyalty. Better yet, Aiden is totally whipped now. Total success. Duke Montfort actually cries, bowing in desperate, tearful gratitude. The Duke is officially her pawn. But then, Aiden drops a bombshell. Victor is bribing citizens with foreign junk. Soyeon just smirks at his desperation. A pathetic struggle. Her Stardust Fragment strategy is light years ahead of him. Victor's tricks fail, but one massive headache still haunts Soyeon's mind. Aiden or Lucas. She searched for harem laws but found absolutely nothing. No polyandry, no female emperors. This game's difficulty is straight up insane. The devs are cruel. Ruling is priority 1, but both guys are essential. Still undecided, she benches the problem to focus on surviving the palace. Rosalind offers tea. Soyeon sighs as the bitter winter chill finally arrives. She sips the hot brew, trying to forget her stress for 1 second. Suddenly, chaos! Ella bursts in, panicked, shouting that Prince Victor is here. Soyeon's heart stops. This isn't a social call. Let him in, she commands. What's his game? She guardedly asks why he's bothering her right now. He demands total privacy for business. Soyeon is suspicious, but clears the room. Alone at last, Victor starts acting weird, bringing up fake childhood memories. Has he lost it? He starts rambling about her playing in the courtyard. He mentions a pony accident and a knee injury. Soyeon's gut screams trap. Get to the point! Victor just grins, mocking her supposed innocence. He hoped her rebellion would end, and his sweet sister would return. His voice turns icy. Tell me, he growls. Who are you really? I'm Cecilia, she snaps, but Victor saw right through her flimsy act. Cecilia hurt her shoulder, not her knee. Then, he reveals her stolen notebook. He thought it held secrets, but it's just signatureless gibberish. The real Cecilia always signed her name, using a very specific, unique font.